Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Hoop Spaces. Getting you ready for the WNBA playoffs. KD holdout. Giannis doesn't rule out playing for the Bulls, and a lot more to get to. I hope you had a better weekend than I. Still getting over that COVID vaccine, but you got to do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see some people down below. I want to give some shout outs to. What's up, Scott, aka Nothing But Heat? Rico Suave, that's one third of the Mavs 77 Spaces crew, ladies and gentlemen. The best Mavs content you can get here on Twitter. What's up, Kevin, Perfect, and Julian? We'll get started in a moment. Give me about 30 seconds and we'll get going. Appreciate everybody. Good morning. All right, all right. Hey, good morning, Scott. How you doing? I know that you're on a little delay. I hope you had a great weekend, my friend. Welcome.
I'm doing well this morning. How are you, familiar? How are all the other left familiars out there this morning?
We're doing great, Scott. Got my COVID booster on Friday, and it knocked me way out on Saturday. I could barely get up. It was bad. Um, my son's still sick too from his booster, so he didn't go to school today. He's actually upstairs sleeping. It's really weird. Other than that, we're doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I just got through the weekend myself, but it wasn't no booster. It was more of an alcoholic tonic.
For those who don't know, Scott is part of the La Familia, aka the pool party. Shout out to those in the pool party. One of the best group chats that I'm in, heat centric, and unfortunately now because the NFL is here, there's some Dolphins content, and I don't know why they still use a dolphin as a mascot. It does nothing. It's bad. All right, we got some news, but we got more importantly some scores to go over the WNBA. We will go ahead and travel back in time to August 12th, which is Friday night. Washington victorious against Indiana, 82-70. The New York Liberty victorious over Atlanta, 80-70. The Seattle Storm victorious over Cynthia Fowles, Minnesota Lynx, in her final home game in a blowout, 96-69. And the Phoenix Mercury defeat the Dallas Wings 86-74. Every game had playoff implications except for the Washington and Indiana game. Uh, Fast forwarding to yesterday, the Connecticut Sun defeated the Lynx 90-83 in Sylvia Fowles' last game as she retires. The New York Liberty beat the Atlanta Dream 87-83 and supplant the Atlanta Dream into the playoffs. The Washington Mystics finished off the Indiana Fever 95-83. The Fever ended on a 17 or 18 game losing streak. It was real bad, ladies and gentlemen. The Las Vegas Aces defeat the Seattle Storm. Breon January also playing her last regular season game. Shout out to Breon January, a 14-year career in the W. Doesn't matter if you watch it or not. 14 years as a professional athlete is an extremely, extremely hard thing to do and a momentous occasion to celebrate. So we give her her props. Chicago put out the Phoenix Mercury's misery 82-67. And the Sparks decided not to show up for their game, allowing Dallas to roll over them 116-88. Up on top, we have Viral Nico and Danny D. And for those who don't know, nothing but heat. That's our man Scott. Please, if you do talk, allow him a couple of seconds. He's on a delay so he can read the captions. Thank you, everybody. We'll start first with Danny D. Danny D, good morning. What's your recap for the WNBA weekend?
Hey, good morning, everybody in Hoop Spaces. Good morning. Do I sound good to you? Because at this time I got my AirPods. I just want to make sure I'm not
It's,
messing up your audio.
it's good enough. It's kind of like a little distorted on my end, but it's more so probably because you're moving.
Okay. So let me do this. I'm flip them out. Let's see here. Does it sound good?
Well, not really. uh, Come back on your AirPods, Danny. You'll be okay. We'll go to Verl while we wait. Verl.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, guys. I actually attended the New York Liberty and Atlanta Dream and game yesterday, but I have so many high remarks about Ryan Howard. She is a gamer. Like she had the whole game under her whole control. I've never seen anything like that. Like it was so effortless. Like she's my pick for the rookie of the year, man. Like being a Liberty fan, but also appreciating her game at like such a young age. Like Atlanta Dream have like a real big time player. And shout out Ari McDonald because she's a hooper too.
Yeah, no, look, that Atlanta team, I remember when they made that trade, everybody everybody was like, wow, really? One player? And when you watch her play throughout the season, even when she hit that rookie wall, you understand now why they made that trade. Ryan Howard probably will win the rookie of the year. There's a couple other people, Shakira Austin out of Washington, who's getting some buzz, but also Melissa Howard from Indiana, who I think actually statistically beats Ryan Howard. And now with Atlanta out of the playoffs, I asked this question: can we just be honest and say, even though Ryan Howard had the more spectacular or more entertaining uh, rookie year, can we just agree that Alyssa Howard should be up there? What do you think, Verl?
Yeah, I agree. When you go back to the stats and what she's done for her team, you have to give it to her. Well, with all the things you just said.
It's hard, man. I think this is going to be one of the hardest ones. Danny, are you back with us?
Yep, I'm back.
Welcome
So
back.
okay. To answer your question, I understand about Smith. Yeah, if you look at the statistics on paper and all that kind of stuff, how she, had a great year statistically, but the eye test when you saw their games, I mean, Ryan Howard just in that bag. It's like she continued what she did in college and it seamlessly transitioned over to the W. Some people you see that they have problems transitioning their game, but it didn't matter who was guarding her. She still was in her bag. So at the end of the day, yeah, she's going to be the rookie of the year because she just showed out. The consistency was there. Not saying it wasn't there with Smith, but it's just the eye test. I know everybody like to crunch numbers, but I'm not a number cruncher on this side. Atlanta had their chance. Atlanta had a lot going against them. They needed 2 games to win, and they didn't get those 2 games. Tiffany Hayes leaving. Um, their guard play is not the greatest as far as their point guard. They do need to get a point guard, somebody that can actually control their game, control their team down the stretch. That's what Atlanta's going to need next year. Hopefully, they find it. The playoffs going to be really exciting. My Aces clinched the number 1 spot. Asia and Plum together, they 2 players that score over 700 points this season. That's crazy. That Seattle and Mystics game. Oh, that series is gonna be tough. All I got to say, Mystics fan, y'all better split that series in Seattle, or it's the curtains for y'all. The Liberty looked good. They did what they had to do. They showed some. They showed. They really showed maturity because they could have easily lost that game yesterday, and they found that way to keep it going, and they did. The Mercury, they lipping on one leg. It's almost like Saving Private Ryan coming on the bench, coming on the coming on the beach with them because they are limping into these playoffs. But who knows? We shall see how that goes for them. They're going against the Aces, but anyway. And Chicago looked good yesterday. Chicago did what they had to do. They had some great energy, a great win to end the season for them. And I know they're looking forward to the playoffs on Wednesday. It's going to be real exciting playoffs. Get y'all popcorn. It's going to be some. Hopefully, there'll be no fights. But I want some good, clean basketball. I hope these refs stay out these games and don't be trying to be part of the game. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fire.
All right, here is your playoff lineup, and actually, I'll go with the final standings first. And my apologies, I don't know why I've done it all season, and I believe it's because Ryan Howard was the first pick, Melissa Smith was the second pick. I just do this. I end up saying Melissa Howard and Ryan Howard. I just, for some reason, put one last name behind both.
Wait, Chris, clarify something for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where is Ryan Howard from?
You want to know where Ryan Howard is from? Shoot, I moved off. Where is Ryan Howard from? Like, are you talking about where she was born or where she played in high school or college? Because she went to UK, but
college, big titty.
Yeah, she went to Kentucky, but she was born in Chattanooga. Shout out to Chattanooga High and University of Tennessee, Chattanooga Mocs. But yeah, Scott, by the way, is huge La Familia for the University of Kentucky. We actually make fun back and forth because I just don't like John Calipari. Here is your final standings, starting from the top. The Aces edge out the Chicago Sky with a 26-10 record. The Chicago Sky also with a 26-10. The Connecticut Sun 25-11. Seattle and Washington 22-14. That is the linchpin. That is the fold, the divide. That is why they are facing each other, and that is why Danny says Washington better, split. Otherwise, they're going to lose. Dallas coming back, hitting 500, 18-18 without Eric. That I tell you what, that game they look better offensively. I don't know why. Yes, I do. It's because there's not a black hole in the offensive lineup. The Liberty storming back at the end of the season, 16-20 for the 7th position. I made fun of them incessantly all season because of the seafoam green. And the Phoenix Mercury limping in, as Danny said, 15-21, and I don't think anybody believes they have any chance whatsoever. Shout out to Steve for popping up here. I see Jasmine down below. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support women's basketball, you should shoot Jasmine Baker a follow. This is all she does. She just pushes out women in sports. Make sure you help support. We see Saint from Nest Kingdom in the building. We also have Bibbs, one half of the Mavs outsider and a Washington Mystics fan. What is up, Pretty Can? Appreciate you popping in as well. If you two want to come up to give us your thoughts on the WNBA playoffs, please, by all means, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll go to Steve next. Steve, good morning. How you doing?
Well, I mean, I could be doing better. Dropped the game to Liberty yesterday, so dreams out. But I really don't think there's any question about Rookie of the Year. I mean, Shakira Austin played really well this season, but it's one of those things where the Dream would not have been competitive at all without Ryan Howard. I do think that the Washington Mystics would have still been competitive and made the playoffs without Shakira Austin. So, and it's unfortunate for Melissa Smith that she's on a team that basically says, you basically have to disregard stats because the team did so poorly, and that's unfortunate to say, but she had a good year stats-wise, but it just doesn't get you in the Rookie of the Year conversation because you didn't end up helping your team do anything unexpected. What happened in Atlanta was, it was, sort of a miracle rookie season for their top pick and their first year head coach. I was a little disappointed in the second half, but the Maya Caldwell decision has been talked about a bunch. The playoffs, I don't really know whose squad I'm rolling with yet, but it's definitely not Liberty. And, I don't know. It might be okay to see the Mercury win something now that, Diana Taurasi's not around to play. But
do you think they got a shot, Steve, against the Aces?
Oh, heck no. But, actually, I'd rather see the Aces go and win something because they've been playing deservedly all year.
Yeah, they've been playing absolutely outstanding. I don't know who I'm going to choose. I do know one thing: the two teams that I was looking at to be fans of, the Washington Mystics and the Indiana Fever, had two entirely different seasons. Pretty Cam is up here now. Good morning, Pretty Cam. I want you to be able to tell us what you think of the closing of the W and what you're looking forward to in the playoffs.
Last night's games, well, yesterday's games were good. I really liked the Seattle and Vegas ones. That was like pure like energy. Vegas and Seattle, I would love to see them in the second round. So I'm not sure how Seattle's gonna get past Washington because Washington has very good defense. So the first round of playoffs with Seattle and Washington, I'm looking forward to that one because that series is gonna be good. And then Connecticut and Dallas with their series. I think that's going to be good. I'm mad that, Atlanta, like everybody else, I'm mad Atlanta lost because I really feel like I wanted to see them get in the playoffs, even though I didn't think they was going to go far. But just for what happened with their team and that turnaround that they came in and how Ryan came in and became the leader of that team being a rookie. So I wanted to see them do well. And plus, I don't like New York, so I wanted to see their downfall. But
I'm gonna give you a point for that. This is in here, so anything I can do to set up some type of confrontation, I'm all
yeah,
for.
man, New York, I get mad at New York. Number one, because Sabrina, I get it. Everybody, she's good. But they have a good girl on their team named Marie Johannes who is just like special. And I don't like that she kind of comes off the bench and she doesn't get any burn. So, but that's another thing. But New York has to play my Chicago Sky, which I'm hoping that we will turn it up because the last two games against Seattle and Vegas, we sucked. So I'm hoping that we'll turn it around and get the Liberty, and they give us a little run, but we come out on top so we can face either Connecticut or Dallas. I feel like we have a challenge with those teams as well, but it's looking good for my Chicago Sky. At first, I wanted us to have the number one seed, but I see what Vegas has to go through with either Seattle or Washington, and I'm happy that we're on our side of the bracket. So the playoffs should be good this year. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. And I tell you what, Seattle won't have anything to worry about in regards to Washington if Jewel Lloyd goes 8 for 14 from deep.
But you gotta understand, everybody. I know Deladon has not been playing like a lot of games, but when she plays, she could turn that whole Washington team around. If they got her for at least those 3 games and she's playing well, there's nobody that can stop Washington. I don't care what nobody, because their defense is already A1. They got a great defense. And then if you have Deladon coming in, dropping like 20 to 25 points a game, you ain't gonna stop them. She's the best player, but she's just not healthy. If she was healthy, she would be the number one player in the league. I kid you not, because that's how good Deladon is.
I'm a huge fan. I also think that they were doing a great job, basically load managing her throughout the season to get her as ready as she could possibly be for the playoffs. I do have a couple of tweets getting ready to be posted up. The first one is, who is your pick for WMVP? Who is your favorite to win the title? Do you want to go ahead and answer those, Pretty?
Okay, so I love Asia. I think the MVP is Asia's the win. I don't like that the ESPN journalists and all these other journalists have her going against Stewie. There's no competition. We saw that yesterday. There's no competition. Asia is the unanimous MVP. She should be. And Stewie should be Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know why they're trying to make Stewie MVP. And I also don't like that they try to make Kelsey they try to put Kelsey in the MVP running too. It's like they trying to. I'm sorry to cuss. They trying to shit on Asia. To be honest, they don't want to give her no credit. They don't. I don't like that. Like, she has been playing at a all-time level this year. She's had leaps and bounds above everybody. She's the best player in the league this season, and I feel like she has not got credit for that. And for the championship, I'm going with Chicago Sky. The Vegas have been giving us trouble, so I'm going to go with Chicago. And if they don't get there, it's definitely Vegas to lose.
All right, I love that you're riding with your city and your squad with the Shy, and I agree with the MVP. I think it's Asia. I think though that they really will push Brianna Stewart, and they've been doing it for what, about 10 days now.
Yes, they have. I don't know
I don't.
why.
Well, let me ask it this way, and anybody can also answer this, but we'll let Pretty answer first. Could it be that she had just such a dominant yet unexciting season that they're just trying to get some type of hype around this or some type of agitated eyes on it?
I think it's because the league is 80% black. And I feel like they have to have a white person that's in the forefront. Honestly, I'm be real. Lil how Sue Bird and the whole Sylvia Fowles thing is, and then with DT, it's like they don't know any other person besides Sabrina, Kelsey, Donna Taurasi, Sue Bird. So it is not that Asia has underwhelmed or had a bad season. It's a good bad season according to everybody else. It's just that they don't want to hype her up. They like Asia has her own like fans and her own people hyping her up. It's just the media is like so against it, and they'll say like, "Oh, South Carolina fans or Asia fans are mean and stuff like that." And it's not being mean. It's just that they don't hype her up, so the fans have to do that because the media always go towards like I said with Kelsey. They're gonna go for Kelsey before Asia. That's Asia's team. It's not Kelsey's team. That's Asia's team. So I feel like the media is just trying to spin a way to get it towards someone else besides Asia or just besides a black person that's leading in the forefront for the league.
All right, and to give everybody an understanding, I'm going to give you rounded down to the nearest whole number. Asia was 29-2-1-2. That's 20 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks per game. That is unbelievable production. Bibbs is up here. Bibbs, your thoughts on the weekend heading into the playoffs, and what do you give your Washington Mystics, in fair odds to win the championship?
Oh man, it's been a minute since I've been in here, so thank you for the mic, Chris. Yeah, the Mystics, man, I was hoping we could secure that 4 seed. It would have been nice to not be on the opposite side of the country to start the playoffs, but things happen. With that said, it's going to be rough watching Tasha Cloud clamp Sue Bird up as we end her career. For some people, anyway, it's not going to be rough for me. I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm excited about that series, man. I think it's a great matchup. Just, again, Tasha Cloud versus Sue Bird. Della Don versus Stewart, like that's going to be some fun stuff to watch. I'm hoping that the plan of resting Della Don throughout the regular season pays off and she's able to let loose in these playoffs. I haven't seen any flare-ups with the back lately, so she did have some rough shooting nights. I hope she got that out of her system, but other than that, I think it's going to be a fun series. I can't think about any other series. I just have to enjoy that one. And Asia better be the MVP. It better not even be close, honestly.
Uh-oh.
That's all I'm saying. Go Gamecocks.
Yeah, I feel you. I know, but like you do realize it's going to be close just because that's what they want at the bare minimum, right?
Yeah, and what you said about like them trying to add a little bit of drama to it because Asia was so dominant, I do think that that's the case. Like it's boring if you just look at it on the surface. It's that obvious to me. So they gotta add a little bit of drama to the vote.
All right, because that's where I'm leading towards. Steve, hop up in here. What you got?
Yeah, I'll just go real quick. I mean, I agree with everybody on Asia Wilson. There's no question MVP right there. Just to go sideways with it a little bit, Chelsea Gray, definitely first team, all WNBA. Just especially towards the end of the season, the plays, man, just the plays. I don't know what to say other than that. Point God for sure. And the Sky are going to repeat. That's that.
Wow. Just straight out going repeat. Dang.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can see maybe it's just a look in Candace Parker's eye, but I don't know.
All right. Okay. By the way, Asia Wilson, top 5 in points, top 5 in rebounds, top 5 in blocks for the entire season. Malika, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I just wanted to say Own the Crown is in the playoffs. And congratulations to the New York Liberty for, getting into the playoffs with such a rocky start of the season. and they were up and down all season. Like Sabrina didn't have the greatest final game. Her stat sheet was awful, 6 turnovers, but the team pulled out the win with Maureen Johannes and Natasha Cloud and Stephanie Dolson, and the team got it done. I am looking forward to that series versus the Sky. I mean, we played them pretty decent this season, but the Sky can hit another level. They are the champions, all respect, but I think this would be good for the Liberty to play them. So that is a series I'm looking forward to because it's my team. And if they do make it to a third game, I will be there Saturday. I'm going to force myself to get out this house and actually go to the game. And I am looking forward to seeing Las Vegas, not Las Vegas versus Phoenix. I mean, if Skylar Diggins Smith is there, but if she's going to do something right now, if she's not there, then Washington and Seattle, EDD versus um, Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart in the Storm, that'd be dope to watch. In Dallas and Connecticut, I mean, everyone makes a joke Connecticut like the Utah Jazz. They're playing well. Now, at least the Utah Jazz can win. They
See, that's what we call
So they
basketball
can
karma.
win. They can win a series. Utah Jazz can win a series. So Connecticut could get out that series. We'll see what happens. But they're playing well. They're playing well now. So maybe they'll break that reputation this time. I have no doubt
Maybe.
that Vegas will get out of the first round.
I want to give some shout outs down below. Some more people popped in. New York Heavy here. Jeff J says, ladies and gentlemen, shoot a follow over there, managing producer at Bleacher Report, but more importantly, host of BetX on the MSG networks and Power After Hours. If you are a pop culture fan and you happen to like sports as well, he's one of the dopest follows you can have here. Also, up on stage, we have his partner, his co host, the founder of Live from the Mecca, Sean with a W, and Cedric Shine is in the building as well down below. Those three are getting ready to launch a third season of Live from the Mecca covering the team you love to hate, the New York Knicks. We'll get to Sean in a second, right after Viral. Viral, man, what you got for us?
Yo, honestly, I need Natasha Cloud to be on a defensive team ASAP because like she worked like I was listening to one of her interviews. She said this year was going to be her year to try to make a defensive team, and she's just been putting on like a show, like extremely show on that end. So this is my you could say like shout out because she's a complete dog, man, on that end.
And in
All right.
terms of defense, can I say this real quick, Chris? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, go
Um,
ahead.
Slim from the LA Sparks needs to be on a defensive team. And I think she should get a decent amount of, like I saw a poll where it says she only got one vote for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, she's leading the league in steals. Do they even watch? I mean, I know the Sparks weren't a great team this year, but Slim is the one player that's been consistent on defense and doing her thing on the offense too. So Slim should get some consideration also for defensive first team. That's just my thought.
All right. I am not that in that I can give you a defensive team. Not gonna lie. To me, I look at it. I look at it at two different ways. I view the WNBA for me more entertaining to watch, whereas for me so far, like really patting in the stats, that's more the NBA. But as I continue to watch, I start actually paying attention to more and more. And I think it's only a matter of time before the WNBA is actually probably viewed in the same light uh, as the NBA from like a statistical standpoint. Because when you go online and you try to find stats, it's not really it's pretty cumbersome. It's not really easy to find advanced metrics. Whereas I can just pop on two or three different websites that have been around for 2 decades tracking NBA. So hopefully we can change that as well. Sean with a W is up next, ladies and gentlemen. Sean, what do you have for us this morning?
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon if you're across the pond. Good evening if you're in Asia, Australia, what have you. couple things. One, shout out to the Liberty for making the playoffs. Again, I have the Liberty to win the championship at 50-1. We can all dream. The dream begins today. And I noticed that, and I don't follow W as much as others, but I noticed that. I did notice that the Liberty, by getting in, eliminated the Dream. So it looks like New York is beat Atlanta again. That's number one. Number two, yesterday was a glorious day because my soccer team, Tottenham, nicked a draw at the very end against Jeff's Chelsea. And the reason I bring it up in here is because if you look on Bankai's tweets, he is crying incessantly. So if you need any entertainment, you love to see it. And I'm just going to wait till we get to the Christmas Day schedule part because I have some things in my mind, but I'll wait till we get there.
All right, no problem. Down below, some more shout outs to give. Nets Kingdom AJ is in the building. If you know a Nets fan, send them some positive vibes. It is not positive out there in Barclays right now. Evan Townsend of Project Spurs is in the building. Rico Suave and Rolo, two of the three of the 77 Spaces is here. Justin Patton is here. Warren, good morning. Coco, it's good to see you. And yes, the man who I really also want to speak with about his LA Sparks, Jay the Wakandan tech support, and now just popping in just now, Edwin Garcia as well, because man, did they just think up the joint yesterday. Like that was the worst game you could end a season with. Like they didn't even try. And then like that's not even the most entertaining part, right? Like let's be honest, we all love it when LA teams get beat down, right? The most entertaining part was after when the coach, Fred Williams, said he wants to stay when he already had a job agreement with Auburn. And I'm sitting here like, yo, your team just gave up 30 points. They wasn't listening to you. They weren't playing. Just say you figured out that you don't want to be on the recruiting trail trying to talk to these young women to get them to go to Auburn, right? Like that's all this is. Get that big money, stay in LA, and not get on that travel circuit trying to get, a squad to have to go up against South Carolina. Edwin Garcia is up here. He's been following the Sparks all season long, and you can find a lot of his works at Lakers Takes. You can also email him at lakerstakes.gmail if you're looking at some collaboration for some West Coast love. Edwin, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Chris. I was doing good, and then you just started taking shots at LA at 7:30 in the morning. What's going on? What's in your spirit, Chris? How's it going?
Well, I'm doing great. Like, there's nothing in my spirit but like this marvel that Dallas was able to put up 28 points without their leading scorer easily against the Sparks. Like, what happened?
What happened was the second quarter. The game started off fine. I even tweeted out, I was there, and I tweeted out, the team's showing incredible heart, right? This game's meaningless, and it's 25-20 after one, and the Dallas Wings are a pretty good team. They're making the playoffs. Sparks are not. So I'm like, hey, they're really putting up a fight, given the fact that there's no reason to. And then the Dallas Wings went on a 41-9 run in the second quarter, and I'm like, well, that's it, and that was the game. So yeah, it was a thrashing. Obviously, context matters. The team didn't have anything to play for. Two of their starters were out, and all the other drama that happened with the Sparks, probably the most drama-filled season of all time in the team's 26-year history, finally came to an end. And yeah, that's what happened. 41-9 second quarter, and it's hard to win basketball games when you get outscored 41-9. I guess Dallas just like blowing teams out. It reminded me of I was watching the highlights of the Luka game the other day. I was just in the mood to see it, how incredible it was when they blew out the Suns, and it was of that kind of dominance. It was like, wow, this is bad.
It was like Slim was the only one trying. Katie Lou was shooting, but it was brick, but Slim was out there, giving it her all the last game. So, do you think they're going to core her? Because they can't core that, like Nika.
Yeah, they should. I'm not sure what they'll do. I haven't talked to anyone. I'm not even sure who's in charge right now with no general manager. It's been a mess. I'm not even sure who I would ask that question to besides the PR team. But they should. I mean, I don't know much about Slim's feelings right now. She had an exit interview already, and we talked to her about her her opportunities, and she kind of gave the corporate speak of, I haven't even thought about it, and this and that, so I'll think of it later. She's been here for quite a few years, and she seems like she's had her best basketball late in this season. So I think she's great, and she's fantastic as a defender. I think it's going to come down to who can they bring in guard wise, whether that's through trades or through free agency, and then does it make sense to keep Slim based on that? Because I think that's one thing that they're going to have to do a massive overhaul of, is their guards, because a lot of them are really solid, but none of them are spectacular. And this league, to compete in the playoffs, it looks like you need incredible guard play. And unfortunately, I think they just don't have a good combo of that. I really like Slim, though. I would be totally happy if you tell me she's coming back. But they're going to have to definitely make some changes. Obviously, this is not good enough to really compete seriously in the WNBA.
Yeah, no, I just the coaching aspect I think is gonna hurt, right? Are we looking like a complete teardown and rebuild? Because I think that would actually probably be what's warranted here.
Close to it, yes. They only have, I believe, 4 players under contract next year, and that is, off the top of my head, Ray's coming back, Kennedy, at least contractually, Ray, Kennedy Carter, Ono, and I forgot the 4th player, but that's it of the 13, 14 different players.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Zalia said they set out for who?
Yeah, she was suspended, so she'll come back next year and actually play. So they only have 4 to 5 players coming back contractually. Everyone else is an unrestricted free agent, so there's a lot of movement. Thankfully, NECA really confirmed that she's coming back next year. She was asked multiple times, and she left no wiggle room. She could have easily said, kind of like Slim did, I'll think about it, or blah, blah. She said, I'm coming back. And then someone else asked, so are you saying you're coming back? And she said, yes. And they asked her, because of all the turmoil with the team, why are you so confident that that you'd come back and that you'll return? And she said that she will, because next season will be. She felt like this season she was living in a house someone else built, which I thought was pretty telling.
All right.
But they've been saying that for you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chris, but they've been saying that for years. NECA should have had the keys to Los Angeles when Candace and Chelsea left, but they kept kind of giving it to someone else, and that's what 3 seasons now. So I'm not sure why she continues to stay there. I really don't. I mean, she said she's gonna stay, but I mean, that's like LeBron saying that he was gonna stay in Miami and then he went back to Cleveland. So I don't. I think NECA is. She can get offers from other teams and go somewhere else. I feel like LA is too. She should go somewhere else, but she might not. But I think she should, because LA is not going to be in the playoffs for a while, depending on who they're going to get there, because they're dumpster fire. Nobody wants to go there.
All right. I wasn't really going to say anything beyond if you needed some more LA coverage, which make sure you Edwin. Then I was going to ask him when his next article is being dropped.
Yeah, my next article. Are we talking Sparks or Lakers?
Oh, whichever one you want to promote, man. I'm here for you.
Yeah, Sparks will be. Thank you so much, Chris. Sparks will be sometime this week. I'm still working with Swish Appeal on the rest of the WNBA, so I'm gonna do some playoff previews that we got started, pretty soon this week. But I'm gonna definitely do some more Sparks work this week. I want to do end of season awards, kind of look at just the team and who's most valuable, who was 6 women, most improved, things of that nature. So I'll do that, and then I'm gonna work with my team to see. I have a few other angles I want to, kind of explore before we really put a bow on the season. So I'll probably have a couple articles on the Sparks and Lakers. We're still kind of a little bit away for the kind of work that I do. So I'm going to start planning that, in the coming days and weeks. One thing I found interesting, I feel like I have a good pulse of what kind of connects socially. And I tweeted out that Fred Williams comment. I didn't think anyone was going to care. And the quote tweets were just hilarious. People really don't want any Fred Williams. I think he was just saying he's open to coming back. But even the hint of that.
Nah, he didn't go. And I'm not even a fan, Edwin. I'm not even a Sparks fan. He got to go.
No, I agree. But I didn't expect so much, anger at him just saying, I would be, I'm willing to talk to them and, we'll have a conversation.
Yeah, nah, it was pretty funny. I saw that too. I think it was last night. God, or maybe it was early this morning. I don't understand how LA got into the situation. I really don't. You would think that they would be one of the preeminent spots and consistently well ran, but they haven't been. Scott, you haven't said anything for a while. Is there anything you want to hop up in here and add? And then we'll go down to Danny D, Verl, Steve, and get their thoughts before we get ready to wrap it up and move on to some NBA talk, as it's looking as though Kevin Durant, ladies and gentlemen, is on his way to a holdout. The NBA Christmas schedule was dropped, and we got some other stuff in news and notes. What do you have? We'll go to Scott if you got anything. All right.
Play the horn.
Well, he's deaf, Sean. So sometimes if he's not paying attention,
I apologize.
Yeah, he can't see it. All right, we'll go to Danny and Steve. Anything either you two want to add in?
Oh, I just want to add, no, Fred Wilson should not be back as that coach. There's plenty of the coaches out there, female coaches, from Stephanie Wright to Chastity Melvin to Katie Smith to Latricia Trammell, Pokey Chapman. The list goes on and on. Shit, Teresa Weatherspoon down there in New Orleans. There's a lot of great coaches out there. I'm not saying male coaches can't be there, but a lot of female coaches out there that could take the coaching reins over there in LA. It just you got to give them something to offer out there. I hate to see LA, one of the cornerstone teams of this league, when this league first started, struggle. I'm not saying I want them to be included in these playoff discussions moving forward, but at the same time, I'm just looking forward to this exciting season of the playoffs coming up, and hopefully everybody enjoys it, and just give women's sports a chance to enjoy. You're not gonna miss nothing with the football season, y'all. It's preseason. Ain't nothing happening really preseason. But the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 10th string out there playing out there. So looking forward to this playoff. I'm really excited. Go Aces. Let's go. Asia MVP, Asia Defensive Player of the Year. Don't add me about that. That's my stance. And Jackie Young, Most Improved Player of the Year. I want all the awards. I want all the people. There you go.
There's an interesting question here by JAY5, right? And I'm going to put a reply to it. It's in the chat box in the bottom right. He asked, why does team success hold so much weight? Or sorry, she asked, why does team success hold so much weight with individual awards? I agree with you. I have no idea. It's almost as if Melissa Smith is being punished for being drafted to a bad team as the second overall pick, whereas Ryan Howard isn't being punished for being drafted by the team with the number one overall pick because they almost made the playoffs. To me, neither made the playoffs. That was the only discerning factor, is that one was going to make it and the other one didn't. So without Ryan Howard and Atlanta in the playoffs, I wake up and say, why not Melissa Smith? Malika, go ahead, and then we'll go to Verl and Steve.
I'm sorry, but Shakira Austin, to me, was right there for Rookie of the Year. To me, right next to Ryan Howard. I'm curious of what the votes are going to look like when the vote, because Shakira Austin had a great season. Like, if Ryan Howard wasn't there, I think she would have been right there. But I'm curious to what the votes look like. And Melissa Smith, yes, she was really good. There were some really good rookies this season. But Shakira Austin, man, she was a force on both sides of the court. And let's not forget that she was right there. So I just wanted to give Shakira some love.
All right, Steve, Verl, you want to hop in here before we get ready to head out?
Yeah, I mean, real quick, I think I agree that Shakira, number 2 rookie. I hate to say there's that's a good question about the individual awards with the team record sort of things, and I do sort of look at it like, if you're playing on a team that's less competitive, you're most likely going to be losing games by a margin. That means you're going to be playing bench players. You might have better individual stats for various reasons if you're on a losing team that aren't necessarily indicative of how you would have played on a team where you're competitive in 80% of the games versus 25%. But that's just me. I'm kind of I'm a stats person, a numbers person, and so that's the only thing I can think about when you look at the numbers as far as comparing records and comparing stats. That's the sort of thing, sort of like strength of opponent in your schedule. But yeah, I don't really have much to add about the Sparks coaching situation. As you know, if I was that coach, I would do everything I could to try and secure a job. So yeah, I can understand him saying he wants to stay, but I don't think he should. But yeah, appreciate the conversation, and hopefully the playoffs are as exciting as certainly the second half of the regular season was.
Yeah, real quick on the Shakira Austin, like if you actually manage to add the same amount of minutes, right? She played 21 minutes per game. Nalissa played 30. If you titrate up, if you move her up and give her per minute adjustment, Shakira would average around the same amount of points, same amount of rebounds, more steals, more blocks. She would shoot a higher field goal percentage, but not shoot threes, and they would shoot about the same from the free throw line. So that is why, if you're wondering down below, why people are saying Shakira Austin, her per minute numbers stack up to the same as Melissa Smith and Ryan Howard. Hey, Lo, how you doing?
It's a no.
How you doing? I can't hear you.
It's Ryan Howard, period.
Let me get Verl in here, then Danny, and then I'll let you close us out of this segment. Verl, go ahead, then we'll go to Danny, then Lo.
What's up, Chris? My only gripe for this whole season was the WNBA needs to do a better job with putting out jerseys for the home teams and the away teams. Like just trying to get like more WNBA merch, because it's trying to look for like some like buried treasure. It's like ridiculous.
There is only Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky Gear here in Indianapolis. When I've gone to the pro shop, that's it. They don't really carry anybody else either. What do we got, Danny?
I was just gonna say I love Shakira Austin. I love the way she played. What's going to end up hurting her is when Dylan Dawn wasn't playing. Those are the games she was supposed to shine, and they didn't win those games, and that's what's going to hurt her. It is Ryan Howard, only because
no doubt. It's definitely
yeah. No, I agree with you. I love her. I wanted Shakira Austin to be considered in the talk. It's just that she didn't get no help, or they didn't give her the ball when she needed it when they played. That's the only thing I'm mad is going to hurt her, which is messed up. I'm trying to stop cursing over here. Okay, I'm working on me. The Lord's working with me. Anyway, yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, he's right about the merch. I'm a big girl. I wear like a 22, 24. And sometimes 2X, I'm kind of funny. I like to buy my stuff a little bit big, just because I like to sit a certain way. And it's hard to find stuff and shirts and stuff like that, when you want them, or they out of stock or something like that. It does get hard to find merch for your teams. So they need to work on that, and they need to work on that TV contract. That's the only thing I had, because I got blacked out of a game I really didn't want to see, which was Dallas and the Sparks. And I live in Houston, and I'm still blacked out. So they need to work on that. Stop blacking out these games so people can enjoy them, or just put them all on the app. That's all I got.
Yeah, we'll talk about that probably more in depth on another day, because it's something that has plagued the W since they supposedly got a new command structure. When I mean command structure, commissioner and on the way down, not just the team gear, but like the orange hoodie. Like I have been trying to find an orange hoodie for my son, the WNBA orange hoodie in his size, and can't find it. It's the only one he actually asked for, and we can't find it without ordering it from the shop at like an exorbitant amount. Lo, hop up in here. We're going to give you some extended time to give your thoughts on the closing weekend, which was phenomenal, except for that Dallas Wings LA Sparks game. Answer these following questions: who's your MVP? Who's your Rookie of the Year? Who do you see winning the title and why?
MVP, Adrian Wilson, Rookie of the Year, Ryan Howard. There's no debate about either one. Who I see winning, it's really a toss-up for me. I could see Chi-Town, I could see the Aces, and I could see the Mystics. So, like, the Mystics are some people they're dark horse, but I can see the Mystics doing what they gotta do. Closing weekend was cool. I'm glad Asia went off against Seattle, so she let them know once again that there's no debate for MVP. I hated to see Atlanta lose, but I put that on the coach 100%. And yeah, that's my wrap up. There ain't nothing else to it.
All right, and you guys had a wonderful committee space getting ready to preview the playoffs and talking more about the close end. When you hear the end of the season summation by fans, we dislike the app. We don't like being blacked out. We have issues finding games we want to watch. We have issues with finding merchandise and other ways to support. What do you think needs to be done? What does the committee believe would be the best course of action for the W to take to reach more fans who are trying to learn the game? You're kind of fading.
I think that demographics, for one, that's what I've been preaching all season, just the demographics that they hone in on are wrong. They need to do a better job just reaching everybody, and I think that would be a good start. But overall, I just think they need to start over and try again, because this is all bad to me. I hate to be so pessimistic, but that's the truth for me. It's just all bad. They just need to
so you don't have to be pessimistic.
What'd you say?
You don't have to apologize being pessimistic. I think we all, at some point or other, are pretty pessimistic and how they're going to address this. You're kind of fading in and out. You sound like you're a little bit further away from your phone. Let me get Malika. She had a thought in here, and then we'll get right back to you, Lo.
No, I just wanted to reiterate to Lo. I was talking about number 2 in terms of Rookie of the Year. Ryan Howard, to me, she is the undisputed Rookie of the Year. I don't know if you thought that we were actually arguing Shakira versus Naylor without even mentioning Ryan Howard. It was just understood she was number 1. And I just wanted to throw that. For me, it's understood.
Yeah, Malika doesn't get yelled at. Yes. We put Ryan Howard 1. I made the argument now that Atlanta has missed the playoffs, could we talk about Alyssa Smith? Because to me, the determining factor between Ryan and Alyssa was that Ryan and Atlanta were going to be in the playoffs statistically, right? Now that both of them are out, could you see a statistical argument for Alyssa?
No.
And then the per minute breakdown of Shakira. But you already said no. Go ahead.
No. This is still a no for me. As a whole, both Indiana and Atlanta came into the season being trash. Everybody thought they were going to be trash. And even though Atlanta didn't get to the playoffs, they did have a better season. I feel like Ryan literally helped turn the franchise around. I think if you put Ryan in Indiana, they probably would have won a few more games as well. So it's still Ryan Howard for me.
All right. See, that's pretty much all we needed to hear. What else do you want to share? We're getting ready to move on and get some NBA. You want to stick around for that?
NBA? You say NBA?
Yep, in about 5 minutes.
Oh, no, I don't do the NBA. But thank you guys for having me. Love ya. Bye.
Hey, when next committee space before you bounce?
Tuesday, 7:30. So tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern time.
All right, make sure you shoot Lo a follow. And if you are a W fan, make sure you tap in Tuesday, 7:30 to one of the best platforms for women's basketball. That is the committee. Appreciate you stopping in. And love the hand, too.
Thank you. All right, bye, y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Go ahead. Chris, the boosters are tonight at 9. We'll have the invite up, in a little bit. But Hoopsters is tonight at 9, talking W playoffs.
All right, there we go. Hoopsters is at 9 with Malika Walker and several other fine.
Sabria, yeah.
Who else? I probably 808s pop in.
Brian, Nap, like Low, like it'll be the regular Hoopsters crew. we'll be on at 9 talking W playoffs.
All right. Shout outs down below. K. Lou's in the building, the 9450 Women's Basketball Podcast. He's half of the hosting crew. Make sure you shoot him a follow. I want to thank Why You Mad for correcting me, catching me earlier. I want to thank Pretty for coming up here and sharing. I also want to give a shout out to Jasmine Crenshaw down below. Another person you should shoot a follow if you're wanting to support women in sports. She works in advocacy over at Women's Sports Foundation. Make sure you check them out. We got about 5 minutes left. Most of the people.
Hey, Chris, can I give a shout out to the WNBA real quick?
Go ahead, Scott.
Now, I tell you what, I was born in biblical times. I can't believe the excitement and all out excitement for the playoffs coming up from the WNBA. I was around when Queen Latifah released Ladies First, and they did the intro to that. It's been so long, but the growth of the league, the excitement, the all-inclusion of the league is just mind-boggling to where we're at today. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I agree, especially when you look back at what is supposed to be the golden age. And I've always found it funny that the beginning is considered the golden age. I've never believed that. I believe that what they did in the beginning, they had just such a plethora of talent. And honestly, it showed that they failed to capitalize. But I do believe what we see with how it's starting to grow in terms of, let's say, guerrilla fandom, I do think that they have a chance to capitalize on exactly what you're saying, the passion of the current fans spreading out into the general fan base of basketball fans. So hopefully they don't screw it up, because right now I think that's pretty much where we're all at, and we think that's going to happen. All right, I want to give everybody a big shout out. We started covering the W here on Hoops Faces after the NBA playoffs. We are not trying to be your primary source of W coverage. We're just trying to amplify the coverage of women's basketball because we're basketball fans. So if you are down below and you didn't come up and you want to share, now's a good time to come up and share your thoughts about the WNBA. And also, you should follow those, who provided value, such as Malika, Danny, Lowe, and a whole bunch of others. Shout outs down below to some regular listeners popping in: TJ, Kent, KP, Lev, Hoop Spaces, Ryan's in the building, Nightingale, Mike. It's good to see all of you. What's up, Ben? What's up, Zach? We'll get moving on here to the NBA. I'll do some news and notes first, and then we'll get into the potential Kevin Durant holdout, which is starting to become a little bit more real. To give you a recap, last week, the NBA decided to retire Bill Russell's number 6 for all 30 teams. Joe Tsai backed the trainings, the coaching staff and front office. The Boston Celtics were given the top win total projection over the Phoenix Suns. And USA Basketball, they set their roster for the World Cup qualifying. Over the weekend, the NBA Christmas Day games were set. They're featuring 8 2022 playoff teams. The Nuggets host the Suns on Christmas was the latest one that was popping out. The Mavericks made a couple of signings to camp, signing McKinley Wright and Mohamedou Gueye. Will Barton has arrived in Washington. The Warriors will host the Grizzlies on Christmas Day. Let's see. The Warriors are opening their title defense on the Lakers opening night. And Willie Cauley-Stein signs a 1-year deal with the Houston Rockets and will compete for a roster spot. There are your news and notes. Also, over the weekend, Kevin Durant was busy on Twitter. I'll give you the funniest one he did. When somebody was hopping on, deciding to tell him that his legacy was tainted, he responded saying, "It's all a matter of perspective, my G. You say it's tainted. I say it's never been stronger." That coming off the heels of Kevin Durant reiterating his request to be traded and listing Boston and Philadelphia as his top destinations. If you remember, which a lot of you probably don't, back in June, I said that Philadelphia was one of the first teams to have called Brooklyn. They offered Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Jordan Springer, Matisse Thybulle, and pretty much anybody that they could get. Or they also tried to trade some of the young players to get some extra draft capital. There you go. There's your catch up on Kevin Durant. Also now, on Nets Twitter, where there's a great interaction between the fans, reporters, and the players, there's starting to be a worry that KD will actually enter a holdout pattern and not want to play at the beginning of the season. I've already said that I doubt he would show up to camp because he's going to get paid $21 million up front. The rest of it will come through the season. He's 34 years old, and he just led them basically by himself for most of the season. I think he could miss camp and come in and work himself into game shape. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and turn it over to the floor. We have the KD holdout and we have NBA Christmas talk. We'll go to Sean with the W because he said he wanted to get in here when we switched over to the NBA and NBA Christmas. Sean, your thoughts on the schedule? We've got a Madison Square Garden game possibly with the Sixers. That's what I'm hearing. What are you hearing?
So yesterday I saw the leaks from the sources. Shout out to said hashtag sources about first it was gonna be Lakers Warriors or whatever, and I immediately tweeted need the Knicks on Christmas so the NBA Twitter can cry about it incessantly. Because what do I say all the time, Chris? Everybody loves the New York Knicks. You either love us or you love to talk about us. And everyone says no one cares about the Knicks. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks were trending on August 14th. Again, the 11th best team in the Eastern Conference was trending in the middle of August because everybody got, well, I can't say that anymore. Everyone got all mad and angry. But why the Knicks on this? Like, like at this point, it just has to be a bit, right? It's like people go out of their way to shit on the Knicks. Like literally anything we do, it is a national emergency. There's spaces, there's tweets, there's think pieces. It's hilarious. Like the same big market bias that you guys love to throw out whenever the Knicks get anything handed their way. It's like, oh, big market bias, but then it's as soon as you get Christmas Day, it's like, wait, no. Like, no, you can't have it both ways. As my man Cedric said on the timeline, the NFL is having 3 games. They're playing 3 games on Christmas, which is disrespectful, but that's another story for another day. That's another discussion for another day. They're going to put their biggest markets on TV. And unfortunately, since the other team in the biggest market in the country can't get their shit together and they're imploding, they're going to put the Knicks on. Because if the Knicks are halfway decent, if they are remotely close to halfway decent, they're gonna be on Christmas. And you know what you're gonna have to do? You're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Please cry some more. I invite everyone else to come and tell me what a moron I am. I will love your tears. So bring them all on. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Dang. Yeah, I tell you, man, it's gonna be a hell of a start of the season, especially between Brooklyn and New York. Like the Knicks and Nets is, God, it's gonna be a headache, yet fun at the same time. Malika, what you got?
I just, my team is in shambles, but I am surprised Atlanta with like with DeJounte and Trey Young, John Collins is still there. I'm surprised they don't have a game on Christmas. That's my thing. But with the market, I agree with Sean. With the market, they would be on TV. But the Knicks on TV, there's some better teams that could be on TV, but they're not in the New York market. It it is what it is. Like it's obviously a marketing thing. It's not quality of the team. So I think people need to take that into consideration when they make that argument.
Quick side note. Thank you for bringing this up, Malika. Last year, and Cedric was there, he knows this. Last year, when the Hawks got announced at Christmas, we said, it's because you're playing the Knicks. No, it's because of Trey Young, because he's this, he's that, he's a superstar. I was like, okay, we'll see. And now, poof, be gone, back to playing on freaking Boxing Day. Like, it's common. Like to me, it's common sense. It's common sense. To Malika's point, it's not necessarily the quality of the team because listen, the Knicks are not a good basketball team. But then again, listen, if the Knicks are anywhere decent, and the funny thing, the best part about it is all the people that are complaining about the Knicks being on Christmas, guess what? they're going to watch anyway.
It's
That's
like
the best part. They're going to watch anyway.
yeah, it's like watching the Packers and Lions on Thanksgiving. Like the Lions at one point, I think, had a losing season 16 years in a row. And you know what people did on Thanksgiving? They watched the freaking Detroit Lions lose. 'Cause that's what they do. They lose.
Did you ever see the movie Private Parts, the
I did.
Howard Stern movie?
I did.
Okay, so you remember there's a scene in there where they're trying to get Howard Stern fired, and the dude is reading his numbers to the boss. He says the average person who likes Howard Stern listens for about 38 minutes, and why? I want to hear what he's going to say next. And they said the person who hates Howard Stern listens for like an average like an hour and a half. And the guy's like, why is it that the people they hate him, why they listen so long? And they said the response was, see what they say next. No matter what you do, no matter how much you complain, you are going to talk about my team and you're going to watch them. And that makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. Because as a Knicks fan, we have a secret power. America gets mad when we're happy, and I take joy from it every single day and twice on Sunday.
Is this copium? This sounds like copium talking.
It's not.
Trevor, no one's tuning in for the Knicks. They're tuning in for Joel Embiid, and the Knicks happen to be playing.
You'll be watching.
I'll be watching Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I get it. You'll be watching Joel Embiid, but the issue is you'll still be watching the Knicks. And the last time I checked, the Knicks played more on Christmas than Joel Embiid. Trevor, you're up next. I know you had a call. We'll hop up to you. Then we've got Danny, Bibbs, KP, then Wonder. Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah, I respect the passion of Knicks fans. I mean, I think at this point, if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm probably watching Joel Embiid on Christmas Day as well. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably rather Joel Embiid than Julius Randle or whatever they have at this point. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you kind of have to put a game in New York on Christmas Day just because, as you said, the market, I think the NBA just wants viewers. And I think, as you said, it's like football and Thanksgiving. I mean, 90% of people, I feel like, just kind of toss the TV on, just whatever games pop up. And, Knicks fans, as much as they'll trash the organization, they got a passionate fan base. People will tune in and watch.
Celtics play the Bucks on Christmas.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for that.
It's a great game.
For that one. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be good. But, yeah, I mean, I gotta pop out of here soon. But I was going to ask because, I mean, the whole KD situation is getting very confusing because I think, I'm obviously I'm a Celtics guy, so the whole Celtics stuff this past week with KD was, I think at this point it seems pretty obvious that it was just some front office Nets throwing out kind of different front office dialogue to kind of boost his trade value. Then the other stuff came out. I remember this week the article KD said he wanted the Celtics were his primary destination, and they literally name checked Marcus Smart as the guy he wanted to play with, which I thought was bizarre. But I think given the way the NBA has been the past few years with kind of the clash between, player power and management power and stuff like that, or, front office power, like ownership, I think, like the Ben Simmons situation last year, I think it would suck a lot if the Nets didn't lower their value a lot and just force KD to sit out, especially, as much as I don't love KD, I mean, it would suck to see a guy at the end that, he's probably got 5 years left in him at max at this point. And it would suck to see the end of his career kind of go like that. But, I mean, I think...
I'm sorry, that's not our problem. That's not our problem. That's his problem. And I love KD, but that ain't our issue.
That's fair.
He said.
But I think, for me at least, I think the only way this ends is that he's going to sit out at the beginning of the season. And I think that some team, once kind of some games are played, I think, a team that's kind of on the edge of contending is probably going to say, we think we have a shot, and they're just going to go all out for him. For me, at least, that's the only way I kind of see it going. But, I mean, I guess interested to hear what other people think about, maybe the way it could go.
All right, we'll actually ask everybody around the horn when we do that. But, Trevor, I do have to say, I cannot wait to watch this Luke Cornett versus Brooke Lopez matchup on Christmas, man.
It's going to be huge. It's the matchup everybody was excited to see. Once the matchups came out yesterday, that was the first thing I was thinking about. So really excited for that one.
I can't wait, man. 2 7-footers launching up threes. We'll go to Danny. Your thoughts and answer to a question. Then we'll go to Rico. Then we'll go to KP. We'll go to Bibbs. We'll go to Wood, and then we'll let Sean recap and retort as he's laying in wait to give you some Knick love, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The Knicks are back. I think a lot of people are unceremoniously writing them off without an actual reason as to why they're writing them off. Danny, we'll go to you first. What you got?
This is what I have. One, KD ain't gonna sit out, y'all. He loved to hoop a lot. I apologize for the mammals in the back. He really wants to hoop. He's just trying to push their button. If I'm Brooklyn, I ain't doing nothing. Go ahead and sit. Go ahead and play that game. We'll play it with you. Secondly, the Christmas game. How dare the NFL have football on my birthday? How dare they? But that's okay. I'm still watching basketball. Mr. Joyner know where his butt going to be if he want to watch football in the bedroom watching it. I got the big TV on my birthday. He knows this rule, and I mean, who cares about who playing? What who's playing on Christmas Day for NFL? Green Bay. I hate them. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. No matter how bad Detroit is, I still watch the Thanksgiving game. So I'm not quite sure why people complain about the Knicks playing on Christmas Day. I still watch Detroit play on Thanksgiving. People still gonna watch the Knicks. They are an enjoyable game. They do try to play their best on Christmas. Nobody care about Green Bay and the Miami Dolphins. Denver and the Rams, okay. Tampa Bay and Arizona, they're playing. There's 2 weeks before the wild card start. At this point, you should already know in the NFL if you're going to be a wild card or you're going to get a bye that first week. Them games are pretty much meaningless unless they're not in that spot where they need to be in the NFL. So those are just the NFL just trying to be cute. We don't care about that. Christmas is going to be hype. Them games are going to be good. That Memphis and Golden State game, I'm looking forward to that. They're not going to have Jared Jackson because he had that foot surgery. So, but it is what it is. I think the NBA messed up. They should have had Phoenix and the Mavs playing on Christmas Day. That would have been a better matchup. But who knows? At the end of the day, they decide to do that. They may change their mind. But other than that, everything, like I said, KD gonna play, y'all. He loves to hoop. Hoop is his girlfriend. Hoop is his wife. Hoop is his mistress. Hoop is his children. He gonna play. He might play like he gonna sit out. He not.
I think he's sitting out camp. And my grandmother was a Detroit Lions fan, and I often say it helped lead to an earlier passing. They were horrible. So bad, in fact, that both of her favorite players in the modern era retired early. Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. We'll go to Rico Suave. He has yet to speak. We'll go to KP. We'll go to Bibbs. We got Wonder in the wings, and we'll let Sean respond to anything he's heard. What up, Rico? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Chris?
I am definitely a lot better today than I was on Saturday. That booster was no joke for me this time around.
Oh man, that sucks. I'm glad you're feeling better though. But shout out to everybody in the room. So the Lakers and Warriors opening up the season is kind of a snore fest. Like honestly, what has the Lakers done in order to get the opening matchup with the defending champs? I probably would have been more enticed to watch it with maybe Giannis and the Golden State Warriors, but I know LeBron is still somebody who gets a lot of views. I'm still a LeBron James fan myself, so I mean, I'm kind of okay about it, but I would have preferred maybe a better matchup to open up the season. Now for the Christmas game, uh, like to see the Suns in Denver, that shit's gonna be at like 10:30 at night, and everybody gonna be falling asleep on it. No disrespect to Jokic or anybody of that magnitude. It's just like uh, Denver has a tough time getting their own fans to watch their games. So putting that at the late slot, I'm pretty sure it'll be just something you fall asleep on. But to the Mavs and Lakers, I honestly would have preferred the Suns, but maybe the Suns and Mavs maybe start off the opening week as well to start the season. So we'll see if that happens. But of course, Luca and LeBron. That's going to be a very exciting matchup as well. Um, the Knicks and Philly, I really care just more so about how Jalen Brunson is going to perform. Really don't care about the Knicks, and I'm really interested to see about Korkmaz since he lit it up against Slovenia on Friday. I was like. I was like, damn, Christopher Boyd is lighting it up in this friendly matchup right here. But also,
Yeah, don't
one
believe.
more.
Don't believe.
I mean,
He's lit up Euro League like every time he's gone over there. He's lit up.
I mean, you might need him, Chris, if you don't get KD. So you might want to just, touch a little bit on Court Moss a little bit more and say, he's great. Other than that, I don't have much. I can't wait to do 77 Spaces this week. We're going to have a great show. Don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to kill it. So, shout out to 77 Spaces, Jazz, Rolo, and myself. We'll be back on Wednesday. I'm going to have 15 people's names written down, and I'll announce who will get a shot at winning the NBA 2K23 Championship Edition. That's all I got, Chris.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, man. We can work something out, right? I will send you Furkan Korkmaz, George Niang, and 2 future seconds for Dorian Finney-Smith. There you go.
Hell nah, Chris.
What are you talking about, man? You're getting a Spacer and Niang. You're getting a Spacer and Korkmaz.
Stop hyping up, Chris. Stop hyping up mid.
Man,
Killing me.
Dorian Finney-Smith is our heart and soul on defense. And you want to take away one of our promising wings away from us,
Y'all
Chris?
got Christian Wood now.
Man, he's not a wing, Chris.
Okay, well, you tell that to Christian Wood. Bibbs, we'll go to you since we're talking Mavs real quick, and then we'll hop down to KP, the executive hater. And then we got Wonder, and we got Gifted Blade at the locker room, ladies and gentlemen. Bibbs, take on over. Come on, man. You need spacing. You need shooting. I'm giving it to you, bro. What's up?
Stop. You can't come for Dorian Finney-Smith. He's entrenched in the Dallas area. He's not going anywhere. He's retiring a Dallas Maverick. They might throw him a statue without the anal beads like Dirk's. Anyway, the Mavs. Y'all saw that statue. That stuff is egregious. Anyway, the Mavs playing on Christmas against the Lakers. Clearly, LeBron put the call in. He's going to be some heavy tampering going on in that game. LeBron wanted to play against his boy. He's trying to recruit that man. He's trying to get him on the brand. He's trying to get his hands on Luka Doncic in whatever way he can. So there's no doubt that that's what occurred in my opinion. Trae Young is wilding to be upset about not having a Christmas game. I don't know who this man thinks he is. Like, you led your team to the play-in and you thought you was getting a Christmas game. You said that the regular season was boring, but you thought you was getting a Christmas game. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm highly confused by his behavior. Get out.
Well, his fan base has been hyping up a first-round win against the Knicks for 2 straight seasons now, so that's probably what it is.
You're right. They have. I just would hope that he would be above the fan base being ridiculous. But apparently not. So I try to be a fan of this man, but when I see behavior like this, it's hard to support. It's hard to support a dude barely getting in the playoffs and thinking that he's supposed to be rewarded. I genuinely don't understand. I'm excited about the Nuggets getting a chance to shine on Christmas. I know that they had a kind of a rough year last year. I'm hoping to see them bounce back this year. Jokic deserves more attention and love, and I'm glad to see him get a chance in prime time. But that Grizz Warriors game is going to be crazy. We're going to be up all night watching that one. I know Ja's going to try to put on in his opportunity. I'm excited to see that showdown. That's going to be a good Christmas slate all the way through. Shout out to Jalen Brunson getting the Christmas game too, by the way, against his team.
Real quick, KP's going to hop up in here. I do want to say the reason why the Lakers are playing the Warriors opening night, same reason why the Knicks are getting the Christmas game. People are going to turn in and watch. And on top of that, if the Lakers are healthy, the last time they were healthy with AD and LeBron, they were able to make the playoffs. So, like, if they are healthy, they are viewing this as a potential marquee matchup. Big if here. Big if here. We go to KP next and Wonder after him. We're going to close this opening segment with Gifted Blade at the locker room. Thank you for popping in, ladies and gentlemen. Wonder, hop back up here whenever you come back in. KP, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you bringing me to your space. It's been a wonderful weekend. Did some self-reflection, and I came to a couple of conclusions, Chris. That Katie ain't that guy. If he holds out, I want him to hold out. Just so you Nets fans know, don't follow me because I'm going to flame him. So if he holds out, I'm praying to every God. How many gods is there in the world, Chris? I'm praying to all of the gods. The Black Panther God. I'm praying to Moon Knight. I call him Midnight. I'm praying to that God. I want him to hold out. In addition, I want him to hold out for the first half of the season. So he did what Kyrie did last year. I want it to happen. It has to happen. Because he's not that guy. If he holds out, knock him off the top 25 list immediately. Because like the great Martin Lawrence said, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself, right? Shout out to the Knicks. I want them to be. I'm glad they're on Christmas Day. I like to see trash in 4K, so people can notice trash when they see it on the street. Now they can see it on their TV and say, "Oh, that's what trash looks like. That's what nonsense and incompetence means. Now I get it." So shout out to the NBA for helping.
You'll be watching.
So shout out to Adam Silver for helping the population notice trash and incompetence. I appreciate that, Adam.
So you'll be watching.
No, I won't. Third, you just try to make me mess up. Thirdly, this Grizzly Warriors game is going to be fun. It's going to be cute. People are getting hyped. Oh, Ja's going to turn up. Oh, Ja's going to turn down. Oh, he's going to do a giddy or a gritty. I don't know what it is. But I don't care. No one cares. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a rivalry. It's nothing. It's a game. That's fine. You can care. I don't care. Let me just say that I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. We're gonna win next year again. It's gonna be them pesky little Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, they're little pesky. Oh, they're annoying. Oh, those annoying Grizzlies. Why they lose again and then they have to do it all over again. Then they salary cap coming. They can't pay everybody in jobs by itself. Then they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm loyal to the soil like Dame and be there for 15 years and lose." And then lastly, the Lakers and Warriors. So happy this happened. The two biggest draws in the NBA, LeBron and Steph. The best player in the league, Steph Curry, and I get to see. LeBron can't see. He's gonna be in his locker. But when Steph Curry gets his fourth ring on that glorious day, and all you Lakers fans, Lakers therapy, I'm gonna take it from Urkel for that for about a half an hour and just say Lakers therapy over here at KP spot because it's gonna be glorious. And then all they're gonna say, all them excuses. Oh, Steph can't be. He can't be. He can't. Oh, he's too little. It's unfair. Like I said last year around this time, because I had a great quote one time, and it's unfair. I got the recorder. It's unfair. Oh my God, it's so unfair. It's gonna be unfair again this year too. And lastly, this week is my year anniversary of being right on this app. I've been right for a whole year. So I'm taking my flowers this year, Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh man, that was good. But I do want to say there's somebody who just heard you, KP, and they have an interesting question. You say you love villains, but you're going up against KD.
KD is not him, so he's not a villain. He's a clock man. He's a question guy. He's not a villain. He's just one of them guys that you see like, oh, one of them ancillary villains that if they get killed in the movie, it's over. Like, KD's not a villain.
Wow. And by the way, there's over 1,400 gods in ancient Egypt. So, like, get to praying, bro. You're going to be up there for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I got to get my Dead Sea Scrolls out.
There you go. Wanda, thank you for your patience. No, you're good. Thank you for your patience, Wanda, as I give KP a point. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be having trivia in about 35 minutes. Wanda, go ahead. What you got, bro?
Okay, KD holdout stuff. Let's be honest. We don't know what's going to happen with the Nets this year. I could ask around this room, and I'm fairly confident most people expect KD to play this season more than Ben Simmons for the Nets, and that's the net score problem. We don't know who's going to suit up on that the first day, but their best chance of having an all-star player on the first night is Kevin Durant, and that's just how it is. So either trade him, or I don't care what's happening with the Nets right now. They're irrelevant until they can foster a team on the court. On to Christmas Day. These Knicks fans need to stop living in the copium that we live rent free in people's heads as their only means of hope. Because I looked at the Christmas Day numbers from last year. Other than the Mavericks Jazz, who played at 11 p.m. on the East Coast, the Knicks Hawks had the worst ratings by far. That were literally doubled up as soon as the Celtics Bucks start playing. So the only people watching the Knicks were literally the people who love basketball like me, who would watch the Kings versus the Minnesota Timberwolves at 12 because we love the sport that much. And that is who's keeping them up. And on top of that, let my team, Miami, have some shine. The Jimmy Butler hate has gone too far. I know he has extendo dreads, but I'd rather watch Jimmy Butler pound the ball into Bam Adebayo dribble handoffs before I watch Julius Randle try and go right. I've had enough of it.
And yet, hold on a second. And yet, people who know more about television than you
Clearly,
decided,
they
what we're
don't
gonna
because they
do?
looked at the numbers and
I'll let
put
you
them
finish.
back.
I'll let you finish. People who know more about television than you decided, what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this team on Christmas Day again. I wonder why. Tell me, Wonder, why do you think that is?
Because they saw the Clippers and they were smoking weed and they said, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard versus Joel Embiid and James Harden. And you know what they said? There were probably some old white men who remembered the Van Gundy Knicks from the 90s and said, when I was a kid, I watched that game and it was fun. And they put them up against the 76ers. And they're like, I don't know if Julius Erving played during the 90s, but I remember that too. So throw them against the Knicks Sixers, bring in my childhood. And that's how we got this. Because the viewership has been down because you know why? They keep trying to force the Knicks on us. They're like, the Knicks. You remember the Knicks?
This is copium.
They look like the Yankees, but they're blue and orange. You remember the Knicks, and it ain't working anymore.
This is copium. Listen. If that Jimmy Butler 3 went in, you would have been on Christmas, but it didn't.
If that Jimmy Butler 3 went in, we would have had more finals appearances times 4 than you've had playoff series wins in 20 years.
And you're playing on Boxing Day.
Y'all gonna argue back and forth through the DM. The Sixers and Knicks game was the first one done. Okay? That was the first game done for the Christmas slate. So somebody in the league office sat down when they were doing the schedule. This was the first game scheduled. Obviously, they see something here. Whether it's because it's the Knicks or because of the Sixers, that's the question. But this was the first one scheduled. So, there you go. There's really nothing or no way getting around that. Now, for the Heat, if they were to schedule it, on Christmas, they ain't gonna get a lot of viewers.
You're gonna get more than the Knicks. But on to the Warriors. I would like to say I am happy for the biggest winner of the first game, Draymond Green, that he gets to see his big homie LeBron, watch him get his ring, and LeBron's going to look past Draymond and stare deeply into Steph's eyes, knowing that one day Steph is going to help LeBron and bring him onto the team in 2 years, and it's going to be the big four of Steph, LeBron, Draymond winning a ring. And I'm happy. I'm happy for Draymond that he gets to live out his dream and get his ring in front of LeBron. And that's truly the biggest winner of all the scheduling.
Gifted, just go ahead, Gifted.
I just want to say, first off, good morning, everybody. Draymond Green is doing generational tampering, I guess. The only thing is I do not need LeBron James to be on my basketball team. It's cool, that's fine, but I'm perfectly fine with the team that just won a championship and has an argument to two-peat again in the modern era. I would love to see that. I don't know, man. I'm happy, man. If you look at the tweet in the Jumbotron, NBA basketball
is back in 64 days. We're 4 days away from being 2 months away, which is very, very fast. So basketball is on its way back. I like the Christmas Day games. I think they're going to be super duper interesting. Contrary to popular belief, I actually want to see the Knicks. I want to see how RJ plays off of Julius and also Brunson, how he can bring that up. I want to see how that plays out. But obviously, Golden State, I can't wait to see them play for Christmas as well. I think that's going to be a really good game. But I would agree with KP. It's not necessarily a real rivalry. I think people want it to be because they always play each other competitive. But to be a rivalry, a play-in win doesn't move me. You have to beat us in a playoff series to make that really mean something. And last time they played, I understand how close that series might have looked, but after the first 2 games, they didn't win at home. So to me, that's perfectly fine. I think that's going to be something super duper interesting. But I'm more excited about the Mavericks, y'all. Luka Doncic, bro. I think next season with no Brunson on his team, I think he's going to be really, really good. Next year, he's going to have to carry a much higher offensive load. And the way that he's playing right now overseas, I think he's going to start the season in shape, and we could see a completely different Luka. So I'm super excited for that. And sidebar, I will be doing a film space on Wednesday where we break down Luka's game and analyze just how good he is. Because I don't think people realize just how talented he is at a super young age. He's 23 with 3 to 4 first team All NBAs. And even next season, I think he's a lot for that again. So that's what I'm excited for, Chris.
All right, definitely appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you shoot Gifted Blade a follow and check into the locker room. They have this wonderful concept of breaking down individual games and players. And you might even be able to go ahead and request a specific game or player that you want breaking down, and maybe you'll get it up there. Hey, I also have up here a pertinent question. What's the best NBA Christmas matchup, and why is it the Sixers at Knicks? Because it is the Sixers at Knicks. Why?
Oh,
Because
Chris, you were doing so well.
what? No one cares about John Morant outside of Memphis, right? Like, he is Trae Young for the West Coast. Like, that is the Western Conference Trae Young. And like, I love how both of them tried to get their name involved. And I'm sitting here like, no one cares. Like, I'm gonna watch the Sixers and Knicks, so I guarantee you the next one I watch is the Bucks and Celtics. Like, the Grizzlies and Golden State, that don't pop to me, man. I'm looking at that as a Golden State win, and I'm moving on. I'd rather watch the Mavs and the Lakers. And to that effect, we'll go to Bibbs next. We got Sean to get a retort. We got young Harriet up here. We got a couple more people getting ready to pop
Oh,
up
no,
too.
young Harriet is coming for you when it's her turn. I'm already
Oh,
knowing.
it's okay. Look, I know. It's not the first time I've said it. You know, they have something similar. Trae Young, John Morant. We'll talk about it. Bibbs, then Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, so first of all, I do care about Ja as a South Carolinian. That's my guy. So some people care about him. Going back to the Knicks thing, they're 100% on TV because the NBA production wants some nice overhead shots of the Rockefeller Christmas tree and all that good stuff. That's why the Knicks are on Christmas Day. It's a production thing. As far as Luka, I got to talk about Luka. So first of all, he's not going to have any downtime at all. I think last year he had 2 weeks of downtime. He gained like 40 pounds during that 2 weeks. He's coming straight out of Eurobasket to training camp. So there will be no opportunity for him to pack on the pounds before the season comes around. So I'm excited about that. I do think it's funny how people talk about Luka. Like when you listen to people talk about Luka, they talk about him like he's a 10-year vet. Like between the way he's compared to certain players, the way they talked about how he hadn't gotten out of the first round, like he's literally just coming off his rookie contract. And, I think that people need to kind of put things in perspective when they're talking about a guy that's been in the league for 4 years. Just think about the fact that, again, he's being compared to guys that have been in the league for 8 to 10 years versus his peers because he's just outclassed them by that much. The game of the Christmas Day slate is the Celtics and Bucks. The Celtics made it to the finals last year. The Bucks were my favorite before the Middleton injury, which was unfortunate, and I just need Giannis to remind the league that he is him uh, on the brightest stage. So shout out to the Bucks. I'm excited to see what he does this year. What he's doing in EuroBasket right now, he looks like he's taking another step, even, which is just insane to think about. But Giannis is the best player in the league. There's no doubt, and I'm ready for him to remind people.
All right. Like all I heard was somebody trying to tell me that the Sixers Knicks matchup wasn't the best of Christmas Day.
There's a lot of doubt. I doubt it a lot, but continue.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all can doubt all you want. Like that's allowed in this country. Jeff, hop in here, man. Tell them why the Knicks and Sixers is the best matchup for Christmas.
I'll defer my time to Sean because I like to end the song like that. I like to have the last verse instead of the first verse. So I'll let Sean go in my space.
All right. Go ahead, Sean.
No, you see what I posted in Gematron. Like it's so bad. We're so triggered that like homie is sitting there looking up Nielsen ratings to because he's mad his Heat can't get on Christmas Day. Like the brand is strong. The brand is absolutely strong. The Knicks are relevant. There's nothing you can do about it. So just continue to cry. I enjoy all the tears. Just keep them coming. I'm thirsty.
I usually like to chase them with lemonade because the acerbic nature of the lemons, it releases flavor from all the other teams' tears. It's quite palatable. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, like, what are we doing here? The Heat fans would not show up until the third quarter anyway. So what do they want to do? Get shots of the of the white shirts, of the flame on, or whatever the slogan is this year on the jersey? Like let's be completely honest. Christmas in Miami, we not trying to go to no basketball games, and unless the Heatles are around, which was the only national burn they was getting like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just funny. It's just funny. Every year we hear how irrelevant the Knicks are until they get placement. And yes, I'm sorry that your flyover state doesn't get a product placement during Christmas. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. You're gonna see New York, you're gonna see LA, and you're not gonna see the Nets because we don't know what team they're fielding. And even then, the gentrifiers can't get there in time to fill in that arena on Christmas either. So they probably would have been at Madison Square Garden anyway. So let's just be completely honest here. Sixers, Knicks at noontime, New York City Eastern Standard Time, the official standard time of the country. There is only one standard time. That's what we set it off with, and just cry, just cry, dry your eye, and enjoy it. You don't have to like. You may like it, you may dislike it, but you will learn to love it. Over
What?
time you will learn to love it. You know what I mean? Because this is how you celebrate your Christmas. Get all of that Rockefeller Center. Get the Christmas tree. Get the Rockettes. You know what I mean? See the street vendors. See, yeah, we serving halal on the street on Christmas Day. It's 365. It don't stop. It don't stop. See the taxis. See the taxis. See the glory. See snow for some of y'all that don't got seasons in your city. See all of that. See the tinsel. You know what I mean? See somebody arguing on the corner because people want to take pictures of the Empire State Building, and I'm just trying to get to the game, and you standing in the middle of the street while I'm trying to drive up the street. You trying to catch a sunset? I'm trying to catch this game. This is New York. This is Americana. This is the greatest city in the world. Appreciate it. Acknowledge us. This is what we do. We are the tribal chiefs of the NBA. That's just what it is, yo. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say other than y'all gonna be screaming. Y'all gonna be screaming opening them gifts. Hollering opening them gifts. Like you stepped on a tack. Screaming
I
at
love
the screen. While you gotta watch Jalen Brunson's braids gracefully flop as he's scoring 20 and 10 and giving out 10 assists. Y'all gonna have to see RJ Barrett stare at you in the screen as he does a dunk that electrifies the crowd. You gonna see James Harden, spelt, slim, trim, dancing and hitting step back threes. You're gonna see Joel Embiid trolling people and dominating in MVP fashion. This is Northeast basketball. Respect it. This is the Atlantic Division. This is what we do, yo. Like, I don't know what to say. There is alternative programming too. Maybe y'all could watch. Maybe Marvel's gonna have something out at that time. Maybe y'all could watch Disney Plus. Y'all be straight.
I
Yeah,
mean,
leave that
football
man
will
with
be
shit
on.
alone, man.
That's always an option.
You know what I'm saying? You could watch that. The
What's the
Office
name of
is
that team
always good.
again? They've been missing in action for about 50 years. What's their name again? I forgot. New York to what? Who is they? I don't know none of them cats that you just named. Vanquished losers from other franchises. Who cares? This is a sad state that the former glorious New York Knicks basketball fandom has descended to. They crying and happy about because they think people are some kind of discombobulated because they team is playing on New Christmas Day. Oh,
Bro,
nobody cares.
we
There's
were.
no
Nobody
slander
care
you can
about
say right
that.
now that hits. Nothing
We
you
don't
said
care
hit.
about that.
Yes, you
You
Zero
have
out
no
of 10
do.
tears from
would
us
not.
because you are irrelevant. You are the capital of irrelevance as far as basketball is concerned.
Why were we
Your
trending
glory
yesterday?
days go back. When was the last time the New York Knickerbockers won some kind of back-on-the-ball championship? Hell, the last time they was even relevant was in the era of dinosaur basketball when it was so disgusting to people to watch. They had to change the rule because we was tired of seeing Patrick Ewing
Ooh.
get vanquished year after year. Man, y'all are
Bro,
has-beens and trying to be one-timers. It's been 50, son. I've seen more New York Knicks relevant basketball games than you have. Have you even seen Willis Reed? Could you pick him out of a lineup on the street? Could you know who Dave the Butcher is? Come on, man. We know that the New York Knicks basketball used to
I'm
be
probably a
something.
lot older than you think. First of all, is secondly, I don't have to see Willis. I don't have to see Wall. I see Wall every day, but I will see the Knicks on Christmas Day. That's where I'm
And
gonna. You're gonna see them too.
so will you. You waking up at 9
well,
a.m.
9
Pacific
a.m. to
time
hate.
to
9
hate.
a.m. to hate. You won't even kiss your family. You're gonna be screaming at
Yo,
R.J. Barrett and
you
Julius.
even brush your teeth first, and you out here hating on the Knicks. That's nasty behavior, bro.
That's so nasty. Like they fuel. You would not have anything to do if the Knicks wasn't on Christmas.
Something's wrong with hate early in the
Scream at a
morning.
screen.
It's okay
Look.
to me.
But
It's
scream at a
early. Look,
screen.
I'm
the days of Golden State Warriors fan, he only cares about Steph Curry putting John Morant in his place. That's all he cares about. And he's going to go right after Young
Don't
Harriet.
cry.
Young Harriet, good morning. Thank you for popping in. How you doing? And how you
Oh,
Grizzlies?
good morning, everybody. I'm so glad. I wish I could get that last 20 minutes of my life back. Uh, it smells, as bad as in here. It's about a 13-year-old boy's locker room after PE. It stinks. Uh, yeah. Uh, the Knicks in Philadelphia. I'm about as excited about that as I was when I saw that rat take that bird down in New York about 3 weeks ago. I feel like that's the type of matchup it's going to be. So let's go Knicks, let's go Philly, and yeah, I can't wait to James Harden is in the back exercising with one of them medicine balls and the shit that he does before he comes out on the floor and realizes, you know what, shit, I don't want to play for them either. So yeah, and some guy mentioned, Jalen Brunson's braids cascading in the wind. That's a bit much, uh, to call him braids or whatever the hell that is on the top of his head. That it's a loose interpretation. I'm gonna say that. But anyway, talking about the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics. I hope Giannis beats the shit out of him, me personally, because I hope Jason Tatum comes to the game dressed like everybody's grandmother, like he did in game one of the finals. That's how I knew he was on some bullshit. He had on everybody's grandmother's Sunday best for game one. What are we doing here, pretty freaking Fontaine? But that's neither here nor there. I hope Jaylen Brown comes dressed like the subway door uh in during the Christmas game, sort of like what he did in game one as well. So, they had bullshit on their mind. And you can tell by the outfits they wore. And I just hope Giannis continues to kick their ass, like he normally does. Him and his non-playing cheerleading ass brother. That's a free check. Can we all get in on that, by the way? Got student loans I need to pay. But anyway, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies, of course, playing the Golden State Warriors. Oh Lord, here we go again. Is it a rivalry? Absolutely not. I think Gifted said he is not a rivalry because they haven't beat each other in the playoffs. So what? Of course it doesn't matter in December. So what? We are here to be entertained in December. I want to see Ja Morant run out there with the VVS in his mouth, dunking on top of Draymond Green, putting his man meat on Draymond Green's head. We all know it doesn't matter in December.
Whoa there.
Who gives a shit? I want to see Dylan Brooks shooting 33-foot jumpers. Damn, maybe it'll help his ass get traded by the trade deadline. There are other goals here. I want to see Steph Curry's brother-in-law get his ass in the game. He ain't gonna do shit. But hey, everybody needs gifts on Christmas Day. Shit. I want to see Jared Jackson return and, hit for 33, 10, and 10, fantasies. But shit, it's a game in December. The NBA front offices, they are not stupid. These executives are not stupid. I know you guys hate to hear this, but the best show in basketball is located at 191 Bill. And whether or not Ja Morant is here for the Grizzlies 15 years or not, who gives a damn? The Grizzlies are playing on Christmas Day, and that's momentous for the franchise in the city. We will see you there, goddamn. You probably see me there too. I hope jumps out of there with a bag of ho-ho-hos, so you folks can have something to get on Hoop Spaces and talk shit about. And I hope he greeties with Santa Claus and Miss Claus and all the fucking elves in the North Pole. Okay.
I just want to say, Harriet, I don't have any problem with anything you said, but
That's
I just
what
want
I
to be
want.
very clear. Damian Lee is not on the roster anymore. Just so you know.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Larry, is it gritty or is it giddy? Because I was confused for the whole year.
You know what? KP Josh Giddey, he plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I hope it is? You know what I hope it is? I hope it's a good damn time for the NBA. And you know what? Y'all really gonna be fucking mad because the Grizzlies gonna continue to play on national TV. And y'all gonna continue to see Ja dance. And y'all gonna continue to see them young boys play. And y'all gonna continue to see them win. Now, we might not beat the Golden State Warriors in December, but who gives a damn? And by the way, I think the Rat actually won. I think he kicked the Bird's ass. I really do.
Is John Morant the little engine that could?
I don't. You know what? I don't know if he's the little engine that could, or Thomas the Big Red Train, or the Big Red Dog, or whoever the fuck. All I know is he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, and goddamn, I'm sure he is happy that he does. Because you know what? If he played for any other franchise, you people, and yes, I said you people, would be just as happy for him playing for your team as I am because he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, don't act like that. Don't act like that. Listen. I'm gonna get out of here because it stinks in here. And you gentlemen and you lovely ladies have a wonderful day. Because you know what? I know somebody else who is Ja Morant and the rest of them boys at the FedEx Forum. We'll see y'all on Christmas. Y'all enjoy the show. Ain't nobody getting up at no 9 fucking o'clock. It'll be 9 fucking o'clock here to watch the Knicks and the 76ers play. Are you fucking kidding? Oh my God.
Hey, I'm gonna have to put this on adult, man.
I feel you on that, Chris. It was, whew,
Yeah,
I feel you.
man.
The slander, the
It
abuse, the chaos. I love it. I
I
love
did
but
it.
not think Harry was going to hype up seeing Dylan Brooks take 33 footers. I thought after the playoffs, she would not want to see that again. I was
listen,
wrong.
it's gifted. It's the gifted. It is December, so you. It's just like Christmas Day. Christmas Day, your gifts come in such lovely packages, and then you unwrap the gifts, and you figure out it's just a pair of socks. That's just this is what it is.
No lie. I my grandparents got my father's parents bought me socks every year. That was the only Christmas gift I got from them was socks. Socks,
Exactly.
$5 to Kmart.
Exactly, Chris. And weren't you grateful?
No.
What? Look at you. You're an ungrateful kid. I bet your toes were warm though.
They sure were, and that I was grateful for. No, I was
Exactly.
real quick, young Harriet, I have a question, right? Most times when you have a young team that surges like the Grizzlies did last year, they go into the offseason and they look at what their draft capital is and what the cap status is, and they look for maybe a singular vet to bring in. Do you think the Grizzlies did that? Were they successful, or do you think that they're just eyeing the right person and that's probably going to come at the trade deadline? Because to me, to really take Memphis serious, they need somebody who's going to be able to be that emotional bridge from being an upstart to being a contender.
All honesty, I have evolved on this particular thought. I do think they tried to acquire a veteran either last year or and even the off season is not over. And it may even happen at the trade deadline, as you said. But for me, at some point, John Morant and Jaren Jackson, who are in their fourth and fifth year respectively, they have to assume that role. You know,
All right.
it's all well and good for a team like the Grizzlies to want to go out and actually acquire a veteran, someone like a Slow Mo or a Steven Adams or whoever that person may be. But if that deal is not there, and knowing the Grizzlies, they're not going to do a deal just to do a deal, then at some point the internal maturity and development has to happen with the players that you already have locked in on your roster. And that's what I'm hoping is that acquisition of a whatever a veteran presence really means to this young team, because people are looking at Jaren's and Ja's age, but they're forgetting that these gentlemen have been in the league 4 and 5 years. So I'm looking for growth from that standpoint if they're not able to acquire said veteran.
All right, because I was going through preseason projections. I'm going to start writing and do all this wonderful stuff. And the one thing that I noticed is Danny Green is on there listed as a cap estimate for 10 mil because he was acquired via trade. I don't think he's going to be there, but it wouldn't be too hard to actually move Danny Green and another contract to Utah and possibly bring back Mike Conley, who's on 21 mil expiring. And I think that would be a phenomenal pickup. That's why I was asking, what are your thoughts on that? And then we want to get Bleacher Dave and Blazer in. We'll talk some Golden State Warriors basketball up next, and then we'll get Jeff J to give a party. I want to ask him actually a quick question and give him a congratulations on his wedding. Young Harriet.
I'm just gonna say this, Chris.
And then, of course, as soon as I ask her a question, she's cutting in and out. Probably bad signal. Young, back with us? Nope. Damn, that sucks.
I actually didn't have anything to say. I don't even know how I got on stage. So you could take me off. I was just listening.
Oh, all right. No problem. Well, welcome. Is there anything you wanted to add before you leave stage, though?
Not really, because I haven't really been watching NBA these past few seasons. So I do think the Nets should trade Durant, but I don't think he should dictate where he goes. You cause this much trouble in franchises. I think somebody's eventually got to put their foot down and make him do something. They cave into his demands way too quickly, in my opinion.
All right, cool. Appreciate you sharing. Always nice to hear a new voice. Young Harriet probably just lost signal. That's probably why. It's a shame. I thought she was going to have a great response. We'll go to Jay, the Wakandan tech support, who's a dual Memphis Grizzly and Lakers fan. I know it's weird, but just trust us, it rocks. And then we'll go to Bleacher Dave so he can say why Golden State is going to repeat and why we should actually pay attention to the Warriors this year as they set the foundation for continual competitive dominance. We'll get to that in about 5 minutes. Jay, the Wakanda tech support, thanks for popping up in here. Your reply for anything Grizzlies related here.
Yeah, no, I think the Grizzlies need a third big. I don't think the Mike Conley trade you suggested really pushes the needle. I would like to bring in Conley as a coach or a player development guy, but I don't think he can really offer us anything on court in the playoffs in a big game. I think the Grizzlies are young. I think they got younger. Like I had no idea that they were going to use all 4 draft picks. Like I thought they were going to package them, trade up, you know, and get a third big or a promising wing. Instead, they got a whole bunch of Swiss Army knives, and we'll see how that works. I think the West is a crapshoot. There's too much riding on health of players who missed last year, whether it's Michael Porter Jr. and Murray and Denver, or if it's the Clippers, point blank, period. You know what I mean? So I think the Grizzlies are in a good position just because they're young. So I'm expecting a top 4 finish in the West.
All right. I understand everybody because I've got a couple of DMs and another person just put it out there that they have Tyus Jones. Totally understand. You have to understand what I am doing. Danny Green isn't playing, right? You've drafted this phenomenally well. You just gave John Conchar a contract extension that essentially makes Brandon Clark, in my opinion, expendable, especially with Zaire Williams sitting there on the bench and Santi Aldama sitting there on the bench. So to me, get that $21 million expiring contract, bring Mike Conley, who's a great teammate, in, somebody who will be able to possibly bring the emotional tenor down just enough. Next year, take advantage of the expiring contract and then bring in Mike Conley as an assistant coach of player development. That is my long.
I hear you. My counterpoint to that would be Conchar does not fill the role of Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark is our energy rebounding guy. Conchar, I think, is slated as the, again, Swiss Army knife wing. Like he can do a little bit of everything. So Santi's going to get plenty of run with the Jaren Jackson Jr. injury. And I think that the Grizzlies' plan was to get a whole bunch of assets and then make the trade they need to make in December. You got to mute, Harriet.
Yeah,
you got to mute, Harriet. Harriet.
I can't
Yeah.
Harriet.
Yes, I have posted those people.
You got to move it to listeners.
Mr. Jones Jr.
Yeah, no, I think she was trying to. I have no idea.
That was about to get spooky.
We love you, Harriet, but like, handle your business and come back up.
Protected information over the oh man.
Yeah. Woo! Jeff, save us, bro. I congratulate.
That was about to be a HIPAA violation.
Hey, let he who is not muted when he needed to cast the first stone, bruh. It is what it is. You a good man by disconnecting because others would have let that play out. Like real talk, others would have let that play out and let some crazy shit be said. So stuff So good on you. But
Oh, you don't need to worry about the curse. He's already made it an adult episode.
Oh no, I was gonna hit a lick. I was gonna hit a lick off that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeff. I want to also say congratulations. We've already seen the pictures. By the way, fly on your tux, my man, for your wedding. Congratulations. But I also want to talk to you about what you got planned for the season, because you got a lot of stuff in the works, from the next edition of Power After Hour to your MSG betting show, which is called BetX. Hashtag BetX if you got a question. Just go ahead and at Jeff J Says. And you're still, putting in the groundwork as a producer over at BR. What do you got planned? Oh,
you gotta give Jeff a minute. He's on the phone with Michael K. That's it.
Oh man. I tell you, Bleaching Dave is here. He is a professional Golden State Warriors fan, and I say that because he's lived through the mediocre, good, and real bad times, only to persevere to come off the last 10 years just looking at phenomenal basketball. And Dave, I said this last year. The Golden State Warriors were given a boon, and I think they did everything right. If Wiseman stays healthy, Kuminga's development, Moses Moody, they just drafted Patrick Baldwin Jr., who I think is also going to be a productive player. They have Poole getting ready to get extended. That's 5 great young players. Are we looking at a team who's actually going to be able to do what the San Antonio Spurs were almost able to do, and that is move successfully from one generation to the other while staying competitive?
Good morning, y'all. We'll see, right? We'll see. These matters of these young players are tricky, and I, for one, am not at this point for signing Jordan Poole to $28-30 million, next rookie max contract he's entitled for. I'm not a believer yet. Got to show me a little bit more. But I'll tell you this. I think name off those players, those young players that you just named, that gives the Warriors a salary cap problem. So they got one more year to run it back with the existing crew. You get close to 350 some million with payroll and tax, and then they got to make a move. So I think that sets up kind of it sets up the rest of the league. It sets up dynastic winter for the rest of y'all fans is out there, because there is one logical conclusion that is all this is pointing to. No, I do not believe that KD is going to hold out no matter what he does. That would just be so against brand, because he's going to end up back in San Francisco. Y'all all trembling at the mere prospect of that thought. You all cried and wetted up your beds and your pillows on both sides the last time it happened, because you knew that the dynasty out west on the edge of the continent was bringing a sunset, a veritable 3-point nuclear winter to your favorite team's brand of basketball. And it may well be on its way again. The Warriors have too much players, too many young players, too much young talent to be able to afford under the league's current CBA. So we're going to see how all that's going to play out. But for next season, all you got to do is turn on your TV, your radio, your app, your phone, whatever is your favorite basketball experiential medium. Hell, it might even be virtual reality, and just sit back and chill in the Golden Dynasty, because the balls are spinning up there one more time. And you know that the NBA never gets paid more than LeBron. So let's not pretend like that's not the matchup that the league's been making money on for the last, is it 10 years now almost, it seems like, since at least 2015, that's the matchup you're getting on opening day. And yes, the Memphis Grizzlies are awfully fun. And the Warriors and the Grizzlies, they talk the most smack. They be getting after it. It's a young team versus dynastic team. No matter what you think about if what's his face, Gritty Jr. is the next Trae Young or not. The boy can hoop. The man can play ball. He is fun and exciting. He had y'all all jumping out of your seats last season with the famous dunk analogy. And so I'm gonna come and wrap this thing up with one more thing to play. You know what? I will get up to watch Sixers practice on Christmas Day, because it's always fun to see them practicing against that practice meet. So when the New York Knicks fans is crying in their Christmas turkey, always remember the Grinch done come and took y'all Christmas, and his name is Joe Embiid. Oh, it's gonna be fun, fun, fun. Is y'all ready? Buckle up. It's about to get wet up in here.
Glizzy
Yee,
eating Joel
splash.
Embiid. It's on the title. You glizzy eating Joel Embiid. That's crazy. You know what's funny? If my team had just won the title, I would be talking my ish all summer. But yet I see Warriors fans talking about RJ Barrett on the timeline. Like really? Like I tell y'all, the brand is strong. The
Oh, I hate to do
brand
this,
is strong.
man. I hate to do this, man. As a very different Warriors fan, what I am kind of sick and tired of, though, is other fan bases telling a fan base that just won the title how they should be acting. Like, I get you, Sean. You might be right. But at the end of the day, if the team won a championship, they can do or respond however they want because they won. If they want to shit on RJ Barrett being inefficient as hell, they can do that. Right? Now I'm not going to do that because I don't care to. But that's just how I feel.
Man,
We've
I,
been here before. It ain't nothing new.
like I'm just sitting here watching the shots go across the room. Just wondering when I'm going to hop in here to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hoop Spaces. We are on the second hour of time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Gone is the trivia sound that you're used to. The Price is Right, our Family Feud, and here is this '70s. What do they call this? A bop? I don't know. I'm old. Not that old, but apparently I'm actually old. We have Hoop Spaces Ryan, the Hoop Spaces trivia host. He's up here with questions and with rules, and he'll ask the rules, or he'll say the rules, and he'll ask the questions, and we'll figure it out from there. So if you want to come on up, we got some stuff that we got to get through first. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Chris. How are you doing this morning after all of this talk of WNBA, Katie Holdout, and all the bickering about who should play on Christmas?
Bro, I am like half a bottle of daytime Robitussin in so I don't cough. I am 3 bottles of water in. I normally only drink 2. I'm struggling. I ain't lying.
All right, good, sir. Well, those of you who have been here before know what's about to happen. Those of you who have not do not know, but we are going to send all of the speakers down and create an empty stage so that we can play some trivia. So, Chris, if you would do the honors of unfortunately sending all of our speakers off stage.
I am right now, sir.
Awesome. Now, Chris, you and I did not talk about this ahead of time, but I would like to propose something. We have previously just asked people to raise their hands to potentially come up on stage to participate. Would you like to try something different where instead of raising their hands, we ask them to tweet out a response to the trivia question I'm going to ask for potential participation? So we can do it one of two ways. Which way would you like to do?
It's Monday. Monday is made for new things.
All right, so we'll use using the hashtag to participate and potentially come up on stage. So I'd like to call everyone's attention to the Jumbotron. I'm going to go over the rules and talk about how you can participate in trivia. So first and foremost, trivia is 3 contestants per round. The first to 3 points wins the round, and I think today we're only going to have time for 1 round, and that's all right. Now, if no one gets a question right, the audience is going to get a chance to steal a spot on the stage and take the points of the person whose spot they take. Now, below my tweet, you'll see hashtag HoopSpaces Trivia. This is very important because when we need to call out the audience to, ask a question or steal a spot, we're going to ask you to use that hashtag to provide an answer. And importantly, we're going to use that hashtag and feel free to use it and respond to my tweet right there to answer this question that I'm about to ask. The first 3 correct answers are going to get spots on stage. Chris, can I ask you to help me monitor this since I'm going to be reading?
Absolutely. I've got the tweet up and I'm ready to see the responses.
All right. The question to get on stage, and again, the first 3 tweets using the Hoop Spaces trivia hashtag, the first 3 correct answers to this will get on stage. The question to get on stage is, LeBron James turned 37 during the 2021-2022 season. Name the 3 players who are 37 or older and played more games than him during the season. LeBron played 56.
That is an amazing question. I know one of them. For a fact, I know one. Now I know 2. I think I know 2.
And Chris,
yeah.
I just DM'd you the 3 answers because I realized you need to know them.
Hey, I was right. I was right on the third one. Couldn't remember, but I was right. And I'm gonna give y'all a hint. The third one, that one is the trippy one. The hint was trip, by the way. Trip. I don't know. I don't have any responses as of yet.
Well, we'll give people a few seconds here.
All right.
You think this was too hard of a question?
We have a response by Bleacher Dave. Bleacher Dave has 1 out of 3 correct.
And 1 out of 3 correct is all he needs.
All right, Bleacher Dave will be coming on up. Bleacher Dave, raise your hand. Or I'll send an invite. All right, up next, let's see if we have anybody else as I get ready to search. Danny D. Danny D is coming on up, ladies and gentlemen. Danny D, raise your hand. All right.
Excellent work, Danny D.
We need one more answer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't particularly see it, but I know Danny D and Dave and Bankai. Bankai is player number 3. Bankai, raise your hand.
All right, since we have 3 players, I will give the answer. LeBron played 56 games last season. Chris Paul played 65. Carmelo Anthony played 69. And PJ Tucker played 71. Those are the 3 players who were 37 or older and played more games than LeBron last season.
All right. Oh, see, I was about to do what you were about to do. Go ahead, sir.
All right, I'm just going to get into it. The 3 guys that are on stage right now, you are welcome to have your mics open. The way we play this game is mics stay open. Your name is your buzzer. When I read a question, you simply say your name to buzz in. And when we call on you, you give your answer. If it is correct, you get a point. If it is incorrect, someone else gets to go. Chris, did you have something to add?
No, I was just going to do what you just did.
Awesome. All right, should I jump right in or anything else before we go?
What if you have some minor background noise here and there? Because I don't want to interrupt like that.
Show killer. If you feel as though you need to mute, you can mute. It's just going to probably delay your chance of answering.
No problem.
All right, here we go. Jumping right in. Question 1. Which team led the league in rebounds, steals, and blocks in the 2021-2022 season?
Bleacher Dave.
Bleacher Dave.
Memphis.
That is correct. Point for you.
Man, just jumping out there with fire and gusto. Bleacher Dave up by 1.
Christmas Day, featured on Christmas Day.
Very good, very good. Moving on. So Bleacher Dave is up 1-0. Question number 2. In the 2021-2022 season, which player had the highest isolation points per possession along with the highest isolation and 1 rate?
Danny D.
Danny D.
Gonna go with Durant.
That is incorrect. Someone else.
Bankai.
Bankai.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum is incorrect.
Let's try. Oh my gosh. Jay Morant.
Ja Morant is incorrect. So this now goes to the audience. Audience, you can now tweet using hashtag HoopSpacesTrivia to steal. I will reread the question. In the 2021-2022 season, which player had the highest isolation points per possession
along with the highest isolation and one rate. We will wait for this question for 30 seconds. Those of you on stage, I would not talk too much about it.
We have 3-point breaks with an answer. He has Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic is incorrect.
Good try, 3-point breaks. Appreciate it. Not an easy question, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Ryan came out here in great mid-season form here. I don't think I know the answer.
And
I mean, I
that
wanted
guy's
to
got his
say
hand up. I don't know if he really wants to talk.
okay.
I was gonna say Giannis.
Do you really want to be guessing right now since you've already guessed and you can't guess again?
Yeah, gonna give people names.
Okay. No, I don't.
I'm just saying. You feel free.
Verl, Nico, he put at hoop spaces. He didn't use the hashtag, but we'll allow him. He says DeMar DeRozan.
All right, if we're allowing it, that is the correct answer.
All right. Well, there we go. Verl, Nico, go ahead, raise that hand up, and you get to choose who you kick off the stage.
And for the record, one person has a point right now.
Yeah, watch Verl not even be able to come up. That'd be hilarious. I'll send him the invite. All right. DeMar DeRozan is the answer. Can you go ahead and give the statistics of what he posted last year?
Oh, darn it. I did. All right, I'm copying it from my phone to the computer, and I did not copy the statistic on that one.
All right. Whoops. Yeah, I just went ahead. I think Dave is doing some paperwork. Verl, man, you got the steal. You got to come on up. Otherwise, we're going to keep on rolling with the players we currently have.
We'll give him a couple more seconds.
All right. It doesn't look like he is able to come up. He might be working.
All right, no worries. We can move on. All right, moving on to then who are we gonna give that to? Or are we gonna just move on?
We'll just move on. No point. Nobody got it right.
All right, cool. Moving on. Next question. How many players have averaged over 30 points per game in the NBA Finals with a minimum of 10 games played?
Bleacher Dave.
Bleacher Dave.
5.
That is incorrect.
See, I like Bleacher Dave. I know exactly what he's doing, and he's smart for doing it. He's coming in and he's giving an answer that he thinks is correct without sitting there second guessing himself. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Kai.
Fine, Danny D. I sticking with this number 10.
10 is incorrect.
3.
3 is incorrect.
All right, we got another chance of a steal. Ryan, go ahead and ask that question again.
All right, again, hashtag Hoop Spaces Trivia. Go ahead and tweet out your answer. How many players have averaged over 30 points per game in the NBA Finals with a minimum of 10 games played? And by the way, one name on this list is Mr. Kevin Durant.
We have Sean with a W answering 7 players.
Sean with the W is incorrect.
All right, let's see what else we got going on here. It's not. I feel bad because I want to give a hint. Like I really do, but I can't. I'm not allowed.
One of the guesses has been within one.
I know. And you gave the name of the guy, Kevin Durant. You would think, just going by that, they would be able to work their, I don't want to give too much.
Another player on the list is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
All right, let me go ahead and refresh. We have, we have Sean with another answer with 6, and that was already given. All right, man. Ryan, this is really hard.
We could take it down if we have to.
Jerry West was one of them, yes?
Jerry West is another one on the list. Yes.
All right, Jerry West. So now we have Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, and Jerry West. By my count, there's blank left. All right. One last time, we'll go ahead and check to see who else might have an answer. Sean.
How many times is Sean guessing?
Sean just wants to be correct, but we can't because you already gave an answer and it was wrong.
How about Rick Barry on that list?
Rick Barry is on the list.
Rick Barry is on the list. Oh man, these people are really gonna hate themselves. We already said all on the list.
Yeah, we've covered the list now.
Like we can't give you any more.
Four.
Now that we've named all four,
now that we named all four.
All right, sounds like we're moving on to the next question.
Yep, moving on.
Closest without going over.
All right, next question is: out to scoring 81 points, Kobe Bryant set a record for the most field goals in a game with 28. Who's second on that list?
Bleacher Dave.
Bleacher Dave.
Will Chamberlain.
That's incorrect, but a great guess.
Danny D. Michael Jordan.
That is a correct answer. Michael Jordan with 27.
All right. Look, everybody, let's give a round of applause. Finally, another. Oh, my bad, Bibbs. I didn't see your answer, man. Jeez. Yeah, there's like a delay here. Bibbs, my bad. All right, 1-1-0. Bankai's got 0, so he's behind.
All right, great job. Also, just behind Jordan, David Robinson had a game with 26, and Anthony Davis has a game with 24. So some people hot on those heels. Next question. How many Los Angeles Lakers have won the slam dunk competition?
Danny D.
Danny
D.
One. That is correct. Just the one. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Wow, Danny D is in the lead. 2-1 over Bleacher Dave, and Bankai still has 0.
Excellent work. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I think we got the right type of question here. All right, could be a game winner. Who attempted the most total field goals in the 2021-2022 season?
Bleacher Dave.
Bleacher Dave.
Trae Young.
Trae Young is incorrect. He was number 2.
Danny D.
Danny D, go for it.
Jason Tatum.
That is correct. Jason Tatum with 1,564.
Danny D.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yay! What a game. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to today's winner, Danny D, with the comeback effort, with a clean sweep comeback effort, too, just like the Lakers did to my Sixers back in the 2004 finals.
Just like the Warriors did to the Celtics.
Oh, thank you. I was going there.
All right. Now, Danny D.
Yes.
We do not have a prize at this time, but
that's okay.
You do have the chance to risk your prize for a bonus question. Would you like to risk your non-existent prize for a bonus question that is just for you?
You know what? I like to live on the edge. Go ahead. I'll risk it. Let's go.
All right. Now, this bonus question is just for Danny D and no one else. The pressure is on if you've ever seen a trivia show. So, Danny D, just for you. If we had a ticking clock sound effect, this would be the time, Chris. All right. During the 2021-2022 season, only 2 players shot 40% or better from 3 and also made 200 or more. Name both players.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll do the.
You don't hear it? It's in the back.
I hear it in my head. Oh shit. Okay, go with what my gut says. One is Steph, and the other is, oh God, what's that boy's name? Oh my God. Oh Lord. Okay, I know who I want to say, but I can't think of his name.
I'll give you one hint. Chris would have said blank just made another 3.
Oh God, what's his name? Danielle, you know it. I don't know the other person.
10, 9,
That's not
8,
helping.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Luka Doncic.
And on both. The correct answers are actually I'll put this to Chris because she didn't get either one. Chris, who are they?
I don't know. I would say Desmond Bain.
That's one.
And I would say, gosh, I was going to say Zach LaVine, but he didn't play enough.
He did it last year.
Yeah, I know. I'll go with Zach LaVine.
He didn't do it this year. All right, Bankai or Bleacher Dave, either of you want to take a stab at this? 40% made 3-pointers.
Said at 40% and 200 made.
Yep.
From corners.
Not corners, just threes.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a hell of a high number. 40% and 200 made. I don't know.
It's not Van Vliet, is it?
Nope, it was Desmond Bain and Mr. Patty Mills.
Never would have got that.
Yeah, I never got that either.
But great work, Danny D.
I knew.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody give Danny D a round of applause. We are going to work out, trivia to make it more streamlined. But I love what we have here, and especially if we ever get the video that they've been hinting about here on Twitter, this is going to really pop off. Ryan, we got to tell the people we need to pick out a day and time where we'll be able to do this as its own show, more than likely. What do you think? Do you think we should put it out and see what people think, or we should just try?
Yeah, we can just keep trying it. We'll figure it out. It'll come to us.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's show. For the most part, we got 4 minutes. So everybody that's wanting to come on up, now's the time to raise your hand. We'll go a little bit past 12:30. We'll get your final take for the NBA or WNBA. So please raise those hands. We want to go ahead and thank Bankai, Bleacher Dave, and Danny D for putting themselves out there on trivia this Monday afternoon or morning, wherever you are. So we'll go first, though, to Bankai. Bankai, give us your NBA take, WNBA take of the day.
No take, but since people are upset about the Knicks playing on Christmas Day, they hate the Knicks. They can't stand the Knicks, but they can't stop talking about the Knicks. Some people even use the Knicks for their shows or their content when it's lagging. So they love the Knicks at the end of the day. What can we say? Whether we suck, whether we're good, doesn't matter. That's how it is.
I kind of agree. Like I've seen it enough. It just happens. Bleacher Dave, final take for the day.
I know it's the middle of summer, but it's never too early to prepare for the rain. Get your galoshes, pack your umbrella, get your yellow slicker, because it's going to be wet and stormy this winter around the NBA. Splash time, babies.
They always on brand. I love it. That's how you do it. You stay true to who you are. Danny D, final NBA or WNBA take.
This is going to be a great playoff series for the WNBA. Thank you, Sylvia Fowles, for all you've done. 2 titles, 2 final MVPs, 4 gold medals, 4 defensive players of the year, and 1 MVP. WNBA leader in rebounds and double-doubles. That is Sylvia Fowles. And thank you for all you've done for this game, all you've given of yourself. And I wish you could have been in the playoffs, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles at the end of the day. But like I said, it's going to be a great playoffs. 2 months away from the NBA season. That's why I enjoy football season, because I'm closer to the NBA season. The Lakers, y'all going to sit there and watch my men get their rings. It's going to be not only splash, but it's going to be a pool party, because Jordan Poole's coming. He's coming for that most improved, and he's going to get that award. Thank you.
No, thank you, Danny. We definitely appreciate you coming in every day, talking W and NBA with us. Ryan, go ahead. What do you have for your thought?
I just really appreciate everybody playing trivia with us this morning. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the upcoming season. I love the fact that the Warriors think the Lakers are really going to care about watching them accept rings. That makes me laugh. We don't care.
All right, I'm leaving with a thank you. I want to thank a couple of people, Verl, Nico, and Mike Brandt. They're part of the WNBA chat group that I'm in that was started by Malika Walker. These two men love the W, and they do nothing but promote the positivity and spread the love of the W. And they've done it since day one. And I want to highlight them because people like Mike and Verl make it easier for people like me and people like you who might not have watched the W to come in and watch it, right? As I have watched the W, but as a casual fan, and more importantly, I watch more women's college basketball specifically during the tournament because their tournament seems to always be more entertaining. I want to give a very unexpected thank you to one person. I like professionalism and I like consistency. It's been ingrained in me since I was born. Breon January of the Seattle Storm, formerly of the Indiana Fever, Phoenix Mercury, and Connecticut Sun, is retiring after the Seattle Storm either win a championship or not. She's played 13. This is her 14th season. That is insane. It doesn't matter what sport you play. If you are a professional athlete and you've been able to do it for 14 years, you should get a round of applause and a huge thank you for providing, an entire lifetime of entertainment for us. So thank you to Breon January, who's going to get overshadowed by the great Sylvia Fowles and the greatness of Sue Bird and the greatness of every other great player who will retire in the off season. I just want to make sure that you hear her name one last time. Thank you, Breon January. Appreciate it. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the show today. It's not quite the regular season. We're not going full 3 hours. If you need some more basketball, convo, then what you should be doing is following everybody that comes in so that you can go to other spaces, have a good convo. Ryan, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. What's up?
We need to get the writing thing almost ready. We got 60 days. So we got that coming. What else?
Yeah, we should get on that. That's a good point.
All right. I'm ready if you are.
All right, let's chat outside, making everybody else hear us talk.
Cool. All right. Well, there you go. That's the tease, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty soon, not only will you hear words, you can read words because reading is fundamental. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Peace out.